almost heard the voice of John McClintock, the referee. Brigham Young did win the toss, that we know. The other officials, the umpires Bob Placeris of Des Moines, the linesman Charles Weems of Kansas City, Kansas. Frank Gaines is the line judge from Lincoln, Nebraska. Tom Finken of Arvada, Colorado is the field judge. The back judge is Virgil Deering of Des Moines, Iowa. All, as we mentioned, from the Big 8 Conference. We have a very nice contrast in uniform colors. I hope you're watching this game in color tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is played on natural grass here at San Diego Stadium. The temperature is 64 degrees. Just right, I would say, Grady, for a football game. I can't think of any reason that either team would be feel a little bit out of their element, except that the Mustangs are playing for the first time on natural grass.
Yes, and Brigham Young has played on artificial only 3 times. So they're very much at home. It remains to be seen how this affects SMU.
The Mustangs will have Eddie Garcia doing the kicking. Brigham Young will have as one of their deep men Vic Sikahema, number 23. There he is. Off to his left will be number 29, Scott Pettis. The Cougars of Brigham Young, 11 wins, 1 loss. Now, in case you're inquiring about that 12th game, it is allowed because that 12th game was with the University of Hawaii. They lost only one, an opening season upset to New Mexico. Garcia for the Mustangs, who compiled an excellent 8-3 record under Coach Ron Meyer. So wherever you are from the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, we wish you a very happy holiday season. Garcia gets a good foot into it. It will not be run out. It will not be run out. So our first opportunity to watch the Brigham Young offense will come from the Cougar 20-yard line.
We want to thank
Jim McMahon, number 9, is the quarterback. He is the last man to join the huddle. We expect to see number 20, Scott Phillips, and number 36, Eric Lane, as his running backs. His wide receivers, Matt Braga, number 19, and to the right, Lloyd Jones, number 87. Big hole for Phillips, the tailback, and he gets about 8 yards on first down.
Good block that time by the center, Bart Oates, who took on the middle guard, Michael Carter. Excellent hole. Good block by Oates, and Phillips cuts it back very nicely.
As a result, 2nd and short yardage, 2nd and 2, Brigham Young, their own 28-yard line. Ball tip, almost intercepted by Southern Methodist. So McMahon's first pass attempt is very nearly picked off.
He gets a strong rush this time. Watch the right tackle, number 75, Harvey Armstrong.
Michael Carter, the highly touted nose guard, might have gotten a hand on that, number 74. So for Brigham Young, 3rd and 2 at the Cougar 28-yard line. That was Lane, who moved a step to his right, and we may have a delay of game penalty here called against the Cougars. Now, we were told, were we not, Grady, that McMahon likes to make a lot of changes at the line, and that may have caused it.
Yes, he does. In the films that I saw, it is evident when he's making a change. He stands up and he yells out to the flank to let the wide receivers know that he is making the change. Ray, it's already evident that one of the key matchups in this game will be the defensive front of SMU versus the offensive line of BYU, particularly center Oates and the right guard Lloyd Eldridge against the middle guard Michael Carter and the left tackle Harvey Armstrong. 2
new wide receivers, Davis 88 and Plater 86. It is now 3rd and 8, and big rush. McMahon was right on target, but unable to hold on to the ball was his big tight end, senior Clay Brown of San Gabriel, California.
He's an excellent wide receiver, has great statistics, averages 21 yards a catch, and I think it's unusual for him to drop a pass like that.
So it's punt formation time for Kurt Gunther.
This is Clay Brown.
There is the highly touted defensive back and kick returner, Simmons, for SMU, John Simmons. Fair catch, however, signaled by the short back for the Mustangs, Dick Blaylock, who is a defensive back, and it's at the 48-yard line of SMU. So the Mustangs were equal to the first test from a rather nervous, perhaps, Brigham Young offense, caught on a 5-yard penalty for delay of game. Now our first look at this freshman-directed, tailback-oriented Mustang offense. McElhenney at quarterback. His tailback is James, but this is McElhenney, the freshman. Big gain, close to a first down. To the 40-yard line of Brigham Young goes Lance McElhenney, the Dallas freshman. First down.
At the 40-yard line.
There's an excellent move by the quarterback here. He takes the handoff to the tailback and then tucks the ball and keeps it. The thing that made the play successful was that SMU came out in a 2 tight end offense and only 1 wide receiver, and the tight end on the right side got an excellent block.
Wide to the left comes number 7, Mitchell Bennett. He is a fine receiver. They use him on reverses, which have been very successful. First down, SMU. Now the tailback. Short yardage, about 3 yards for Craig James, the Houston, Texas sophomore. Now let's identify some of these other players for you for SMU. The offensive line, 71 is Mike Jusko. 52 is Bob Barnes. 50 is Lance Peterson, the center and captain. Mike Mason, number 67. Lee Spivey, remember that name and his number, number 76. The tight end, Clement Fox, is on the left side. Smith is wide left, the only wide receiver on 2nd down 7, SMU. McElhenney pitches. There goes the tailback, James. Beautiful timing on the option play. McElhenney to James. First down deep in BYU territory.
This is great ball handling by the freshman quarterback, McElhenney. McElhenney fakes to the left, comes back to the right, get an excellent block by a tackle out there, and away goes Craig James for about 25 yards.
So first down, SMU, 15-yard line of Brigham Young. We played just about 2 minutes and we have no score. This is the tailback, bringing it to the outside, might go in, is Dickerson. Eric Dickerson, the sophomore from Sealy, Texas, puts SMU on the board.
This is an excellent job of running by Dickerson, and I'm not sure that BYU is ready for all this speed. There's the handoff. He takes it to the outside. They get an excellent block from the left tackle, Mike Jusko. And then it's just a race to the end zone, which Dickerson wins easily.
Garcia will try for the extra point, as after 2 minutes and 3 seconds, an explosive opening by SMU. So the Mustangs break on top after 2 minutes and 3 seconds, and the extra point good as signaled by John McClintock. SMU 7, the Cougars of BYU nothing. Mesa, Arizona's Vic Sikahema, and over to his left will be Pettis. They use 2 deep men. So SMU strikes in a hurry. And right after this kickoff, you'll get a second opportunity to see that scoring play by tailback Eric Dickerson. Garcia comes to the ball. And another strong kick into the end zone. And again, there will be no run back by BYU.
Ray, we identified the left tackle. Mike Jusko is getting a good block. The left end also gets a strong block. Trying to see which one that was. I think it was Clement Fox.
Number 36.
Would you anticipate with SMU having that great success with the double tight end and the 1 wide receiver that they'll stay with this at least for the time being, Brady?
Yes, indeed. Now that they're on top, I don't believe that they'll change their tactics at all.
All right. Now let's see what Jim McMahon has in store from the BYU 20-yard line. The nation's leading passer. Blitz underway, but McMahon's a good runner, but he gets only about 2 yards before he's caught from behind.
Tackled by Harvey Armstrong.
Harvey Armstrong, the junior tackle of the Mustangs from Houston.
I think you'll see this offensive line break down here just a little. We mentioned that I thought that Armstrong was going to be going against the guard, Mike Mason, but he was not. He was against the tackle Air and ended up making that sack.
McMahon gets 2. Second down 8. Cougar 22-yard line. 7-0. SMU leads, striking early here in the first quarter. McMahon setting up quickly. And almost intercepted. Throwing into heavy coverage intended for Bill Davis. That looked like linebacker Gary Moulton, who dropped off Grady into pass coverage.
Yes, it was. He got an awfully deep drop. SMU does drop those linebackers very deep, and here he cut underneath the intended receiver, Bill Davis, and should have had an interception. A very disappointed young man, obviously.
McMahon, we should tell you, had only 18 interceptions in the course of a 12-game regular season and completed 284 out of 445. McMahon is faced with a 3rd and 8 at the BYU 22. This time he is right on target.
I think he dropped that, Ray. Good timing, a good hit by the cornerback.
Nope, they're going to rule that. You're absolutely right, Grady. I thought it was going to be complete. It wasn't. It was on target.
There's the pass, and I think you'll see the cornerback come up and make this hit. It looked like he had the ball for just an instant, and then it flies out on the ground.
So BYU still without a first down. Gunther to punt. John Simmons, the great returner. Not only a fine defensive back, but he scored 4 touchdowns this year, 2 on punt returns. Fumble. Simmons gets it back at the SMU 46-yard line. Now let's see if the Mustang strategy is the same as the last time. We had a big run by the quarterback McElhenney. We had a great option play by McElhenney to the 1 tailback. Now there's that punt return that was almost fumbled by Simmons in heavy traffic.
Simmons had to move to his right and almost lost it.
33-yard punt.
So back live at his first down. Mustangs, their own 46, leading 7-0. First quarter. Has 11:59 remaining. This is James, the 1 tailback. Breaks 1 tackle. Gets about 2 yards to the 48 or 9-yard line. There he runs into Glenn Red, number 41, and we've heard a lot about that fine linebacker for BYU.
He always plays on the strong side. Obviously, Brigham Young feels that he is their best tackler, and he does lead this team in tackles. They give him the opportunity, and he's up to making the plays.
Number 20 along the sidelines for BYU is their fine tailback, Scott Phillips. But now, SMU, second down 7, Mustang 49-yard line. This is McElhenney. He does not get a first down, but he does reach the Cougar 47-yard line, where he ran into the before-mentioned Glenn Red, the senior linebacker from Ogden, Utah.
I think you're going to see a good play on the defense on this replay. McElhenney wanted to pass. I don't think there's any question he was trying to pass, and his receivers were covered, and then he had to tuck the ball away and take off upfield. Him waving that ball around, Ray, you have to think that may cause him some trouble later in the game.
For SMU, third down 3, 47 of BYU. This is James, and he is a yard short of a first down. The Cougars played that very well, led by number 78, Chuck Ian, their sophomore from Layton, Utah. 4th down. So after about 4.5 minutes of play, the Mustangs lead 7-0, scoring on their first possession. BYU has yet to pick up a first down. Number 23 again is Sikahema. And to his left, there's a fake. Will it result in a touchdown? Touchdown, SMU. Craig James. I see no flags down.
No flag. Craig James was lined up as the short man. I took the snap. Watch this replay from the end zone. You'll see the short snap to Dickerson. He's around the right end.
James.
James, excuse me. He's around the right end, and it was interesting to watch the punter, Kaifas. He went through with the kick. He faked it all the way.
I'll tell you this, I was back looking at trying to figure out which man was going to grab the punt, and we were expecting the fireworks, offensive fireworks, from the Brigham Young Cougars based on their regular season high-scoring record. But no, all of the fireworks have come from the Mustangs, who lead 13-0 after exactly 5 minutes of play. So whatever you do, stay close to your television sets. We expect a lot more fireworks before this evening is over. The Mustangs, following their second touchdown, the run on a fake punt formation, have Garcia back, and I'm not going to say he's going to try for an extra point, Grady. This might be a fake as well, but it is not. Garcia gets good leg into it, and the Mustangs add to their lead. It is now 14-0. We have played only 5 minutes, and a very concerned Lavelle Edwards, who has seen his team come to its now 3rd consecutive Holiday Bowl, losing the first 2 times out to Navy, last year to Indiana in a thriller that saw the lead exchange hands 8 times in a 38-37 Indiana win. But he knows that his team is capable of putting points on the board against quality opposition.
I don't know if they've ever been in this situation this season, Ray. Down 14 points, and half the people are still out getting popcorn. They're 5 minutes into the game, and you're 2 touchdowns down. However, with a pass-oriented offense, they do have the opportunity to come back.
And there's Ron Meyer, who has done an outstanding job of rebuilding the football fortunes of SMU. Now for Brigham Young, Scott Pettis again, Dave Sikahema. There's Sikahema. He has fielded both kickoffs by Garcia here in the early going, but has been unable to run either of them back. Now Garcia, an outstanding place kicker. This one won't be run back. No way. That was all the way over the end line. That young man has to have a bright future.
Here's this touchdown run again. And a well-conceived play, and obviously well executed. There's an excellent move here by this halfback, James. He sets up the cornerback and then cuts it back to the inside.
That was a second SMU touchdown. Meanwhile, Brigham Young just ran a play from the 20-yard line, tried to get Scott Phillips outside to the left, and lost 5 yards in the process. So for the Cougars, who have had very little go right so far, it is now 2nd and 15 at the Brigham Young 15-yard line. The wide receivers are Davis and Plater, and now quarterback Jim McMahon, who has not been able to complete a pass yet. There goes Phillips, and he gets about 8 yards, and as a result, for Brigham Young, a 3rd down 7 at the BYU 23. Let's identify some of these Southern Mustang defenders now for you, because they've been doing very well. Up front, Byron Hunt 80, Richard Neely 78, Michael Carter 74. He's the middleman and leader of that 5-man front. Harvey Armstrong 75, and Russ Washington, perhaps their best pass defender at the 1 outside position. Those are the 5 men up front. 3rd and 7, Brigham Young, their own 23. 14-0 SMU, first quarter. McMahon, no pressure. Up from behind. Fine play by Harvey Armstrong, the junior from Houston. And BYU still without a first down. Did you notice, was there that good of coverage in the secondary, Grady, that he had to run?
Excellent coverage in the secondary, and they only rushed 4 men that time, so that gave them 7 men back protecting. Normally they rush 5. That one they had 4 men rushing, 7 back, and McMahon just couldn't find any place to throw the ball.
So again, it looks like Simmons will have an opportunity to handle the football. He is the deep man of several by the Mustangs. There is Simmons. Oh! This one is going to be a safety all the way over the end line, and it goes to 16-0 on a high snap that Gunther never had a chance to handle, and Brigham Young will have to kick the ball away to SMU. So a very dejected Kurt Gunther.
Watch Clay Browner. That ball is so high. He has absolutely zero chance, and I think he recognizes early that it's going to be a safety. And one wonders if this BYU team isn't just a little bit nervous. Even though this is their third consecutive holiday bowl, they appear to be having great difficulty getting anything together.
So Clay Brown with a shake of the head indicates that he's puzzled right now, and the Cougars are going to have to reach down deep because they're about to turn the ball over to the Mustangs by way of a free kick from the SMU 20. Tomorrow night, coming up on Ms. Lou.
Oh, Ray Scott, this should be a dandy. The Tangerine Bowl, the Florida Gators against the Maryland Terrapins. Another in the great lineup of Ms. Lou Television Network bowl game attractions. Happy holidays, everybody, all over the country. What great action we have coming up for you right here on the Ms. Lou Television Network. Ray Scott.
And we're at the Holiday Bowl, where the symbol is the beautiful poinsettia, and where for Brigham Young so far it has been nothing but Mustang problems.
Lee Johnson will pick for the Cougars.
Let's see who's going to be kicking it away here. It's going to be Lee Johnson, barefooted punter of the Cougars. Well, that isn't quite a barefoot. I never thought I'd say semi-bare, but I'll tell you this, that's an awfully good kick. Simmons did not go out of bounds, and he gets it to the Mustang 37-yard line, but all things considered, that was a fine kick by BYU's Lee Johnson.
And they held Simmons to only 8 yards on the return. He averages about 12, and you'd think that very close to being out of bounds. Here's the replay. Just almost slips out of bounds and starts it back across the middle of the field.
And one of the officials right on the spot.
Yep, and one dangerous punt returner.
All right, Lance McElhenney, the freshman quarterback, number 11, from the SMU 36-yard line. This is Dickerson, who scored a touchdown. Good speed to the outside. And turns what could have been a short gain into about an 8-yarder out to the 44.
Bill Shepland came up to make that tackle and didn't put a very good shoulder into Dickerson. Dickerson's a big kid at 6'3" and about 205. Doesn't go down with that kind of tackle.
Jim McMahon, who broke all sorts of passing records, but he's a very confident young man. Very confident, in addition to talented. Second down, 2, SMU. Bennett in motion. Dickerson gets the first down to the 48-yard line. Now, identification of the Cougar defenders would be in order. Brad Ane, number 93, Chuck Ian, 78, Mike Morgan, 77, and Glenn Tittenser, number 76, are up front for Brigham Young. The linebackers are Ed St. Pierre, 38, Kyle Whittingham, 59, and Glenn Red, 41. The corners, Tom Homo, 46, and Bill Shepland, who made that play a moment ago, number 43. Deep are Bob Prested and Mark Brady. First down, SMU at the Mustang 48, 16-0. Mustangs lead first quarter early. There's that tailback again. Dickerson, first down, BYU 40.
He wasn't even the starter, Ray. The starter, Craig James, has 73 yards and 5 carries, and if Dickerson keeps running like this, he's going to be right up there with James. See, it's just a straight handoff. Dickerson follows the block of the fullback, and you'll notice that the SMU offensive linemen just stayed on their feet and kept driving, and that's what makes that kind of play work.
First down, 41-yard line of Brigham Young. There goes James, the other tailback. But this time, very little is there, and Glenn Red, the senior from Ogden, led the defensive charge, that outstanding Brigham Young linebacker. Now, the Mustangs that time, in addition to changing tailbacks, also changed fullbacks. Number 31, Dave Dykhuizen. Second down, 8. SMU 39 of Brigham Young. 6 minutes left to play first quarter. 16-0 SMU leading. Anthony Smith was the man in motion. The pitch is to James, and a penalty flag down. Penalty flag down. Red made the tackle. The Mustangs are reacting here as if they believe the penalty is against their offensive team. Nope. Offside, Brigham Young.
When it rains, it pours.
Offside. It'll be declined. The gain was of more than enough for a first down. And it comes at the 30-yard line.
At the 29.
There's just the option play. Red comes in and forces the quarterback to pitch. And he gets it to that halfback who has a little bit of running room. He picks up 8 yards.
First down, SMU, 30-yard line of Brigham Young. This is Dickerson. Well, Brady, is that offensive line operating as well as these huge gains would indicate, or is it the hard running of the backs, or just a combination?
I think it's a combination of both of those things, and this play is run right behind the big right tackle, Lee Spivey. He weighs 270 pounds, and they tell me that he can do 4.9 in the 40, and that's awfully fast for a man of any size. When he weighs 270, he generates a lot of force when he comes off the ball.
Dickerson picked up 7. It's 2nd and 3 at the 23 of Brigham Young. Here comes Dickerson to the outside, but this time Brigham Young makes a big play. Number 93, Brad Anay, was one of the Cougars who penetrated, and result is a loss of 2. It is 3rd and 5 at the Cougar 25.
It'll be interesting to see what SMU does here. They have not passed as yet, and only on one occasion do we suspect that they were trying to pass.
Now McElhenney will have wide right Anthony Smith, wide left Gary Smith. Broken down and almost intercepted by Bill Shepland, the left cornerback, number 43. Made a super play.
Yes, he did. It was just a little square out pass. They were only looking for about 5 yards, and that ball was only thrown at about 4. He was going to let the wide receiver do the rest of it. Shepland times it up very well and cuts in front and almost makes the interception, which could have gotten BYU back in this ballgame.
So now Eddie Garcia will apparently try a field goal. He has been successful on 11 of 21. This will be a 42-yard attempt. It has the distance. It is good. So with 4:21 left to play in the first quarter, Southern Methodist University has stunned the Cougars. It is 19-0 in favor of SMU. I don't think anyone expected what we have seen so far here in this 3rd annual Holiday Bowl, that the high-scoring Cougars would be held scoreless with 4:21 left to play in the first quarter, that Jim McMahon would so far be unable to complete a pass, that the Cougars would be without a first down, and that the Mustangs would be leading 19-0. But that's what we have seen. And Sakahima, who has yet to have an opportunity to run back a kickoff, is back at the goal line again as Garcia prepares to kick. And this will cost SMU 5.
It appeared as though he hit that ball up very high. Here he's approaching the ball. See where he hits it. Hits it a little bit high. You see his reaction to kick it, getting one out of it. He's already kicked 3 clear out of the stadium, and he's mad about one little miscue.
So the ball goes back to the SMU 35-yard line, although the officials have placed it at the 40.
You know, with what we've seen of him so far, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts this one deep in the end zone. That 3rd kickoff he hit was over the end line.
Very pleasant evening here in San Diego to cap off the week's activities. 64 degrees at kickoff time. Wind of no factor whatsoever. And the deep men are respectful of Garcia's length on the kickoff. Both Sakahima and Pettis are still back around the vicinity of the goal line. Well, We're going to have pretty good field position here soon, Grady.
Out of bounds. Illegal procedure.
Well, at least they more than likely will. They more than likely will have an opportunity to run one back here in a minute anyway, Ray.
Lavelle Edwards has built one of the nation's fine football programs at Brigham Young. But he was, as he was kidding throughout the various official luncheons and dinners and so forth that have highlighted this week in San Diego, he said, I don't want to be known eventually as the coach who won 1,000 games but never won a bowl game. He's 0 for 4 in postseason classics. But he is certainly bringing one of his finest teams to this game tonight. Meanwhile, Ron Meyer has ever so carefully built an outstanding football program at SMU. Garcia now from the SMU 30. This time the deep men have moved up about 5 yards. Pettis and Sakahima. Sakahima at the 5. 15. Whoa! Was he hit? Oh, my goodness.
I don't believe.
SMU tight end Clement Fox.
And Ray, I don't believe this wedge of Brigham Young. It looked like they opened the door. The man on the left thought the guy on the right had it. This is an excellent hit by Fox.
Although partially screened, you can almost feel the impact from the Brigham Young 20-yard line. Let's see what McMahon can do. Scott Phillips manages to wedge out about 3. Remember now, here late in the first quarter, the Cougars have been unable to pick up a first down. McMahon has not been able to complete a pass. And I would have to believe now that the important thing from a Brigham Young point of view would be that Brigham Young hopefully somehow can retain its poise as a team.
All they need to do is pick up a couple of first downs, and I think they'll settle down.
Davis left, Plater to the left. That's Bill Davis out to the left. Second down, 8. McMahon looking for his first completion. Great protection. This is Phillips. And he turns it upfield for a BYU first down at the 31-yard line. So McMahon has his first completion.
This is McMahon's first completion, and I think what you'll see here is the linebackers drop very, very deep. McMahon has good protection. There Phillips makes the reception at the 25, and there are no SMU players within 5 yards of him.
So it's a first down at the Cougar 31-yard line. Getting pressure. This one is complete to Phillips again. So now McMahon is showing what a smart quarterback he is. He has big pressure. He didn't try to go deep, try to get anything that wasn't there. He went to Phillips, who is an outstanding receiver, his tailback.
Phillips also has excellent speed. If he gets that ball in the open with a little room to run, he has the capability of scattering the field. But Brigham Young is going to have to be careful and watch Russ Washington, who's playing right in. He came free that time, and Ray, you pointed out at the start of the broadcast, he is probably their best pass rusher.
A gain of 5, second and 5 at the BYU 36-yard line. Again, fine protection. This might go all the way. Clay Brown. Touchdown.
This is really an excellent play. Goes for 64 yards. McMahon has adequate protection. That the defensive back gambled just a little, tried to come over and make an interception, make a play on the ball.
64 yards. McMahon to Clay Brown.
This is a great move by Brown, and I think the defensive back just got outflanked a little bit. There's the pass. And the man misses the tackle, and I did not get that number. See that play after this kick.
Oh, BYU gets point number 7 on the board as Eric Capus adds It's point number 7 for the Cougars, and would you believe that for McMahon, including the regular season now, that is the 48th touchdown pass that he has thrown up. Grady, that seems a little bit silly to even make a statement like that.
That is a phenomenal record. Here's an end zone shot of that touchdown pass. McMahon drops back, and people are starting to get to him just a little. There's Brown in the secondary. The first defensive back misses. Yep, and the second one, number 46, Wes Hopkins, misses the tackle. And Clay Brown makes an excellent reception. Has pretty good speed for a big man.
That is, for Brown, his 16th touchdown reception of the season.
You're going to see a great effort here by the defensive back trying to run him down. It's number 27, Charles Bruton, and just doesn't quite get there. That's as nice a one-handed catch as you'll ever see anybody make, Ray.
So we have a 19-7 game, 2:34 left to play, and there is the before-mentioned John Simmons. And the Cougars, for the first time this evening, have something to smile about, and specifically one Clay Brown, who made the marvelous catch and then run to put BYU on the board. Simmons will not run it out. So a good bounce for the Cougars. And as a result, the Mustangs will have their poorest position of this first quarter as Lee Johnson, who did the kicking, comes to the sidelines. So the Cougars are setting up defensively as the Mustangs, led by freshman quarterback Lance McElhenney, will put it in play at the SMU 20-yard line. 2:34 left to play, first quarter. This is Craig James breaking a big one. And a first down on a 14-yard pickup to the Mustang 34-yard line before Bob Prested, the senior from Glendale, California, ran him out of bounds.
Once again, right off the right side where at least Spivey is blocking for him. And I think you'll see a good move by Craig James at the sideline. Makes the first man miss, but they managed to hem him in until Glenn Red could get over there.
First down at the Mustang 34. Anthony Smith in motion. This is James. Short gain this time. Good defensive play by, among others, Glenn Titanser, number 76, a defensive end for Brigham Young, and we were told quite a bit about him ahead of time.
Ray, how about a way to spend New Year's Eve with the Mizzlou Television Network? At the halftime of the Blue Bonnet Bowl, a little Mizzlou magic coming up. We want you to join us for the National High School Athletic Coaches Association Prep All-America football team. This is something new. How many thousands and thousands of youngsters really deserve this type of recognition?
A 2nd and 8, double tight end offense. McElhenney on a keeper, short gain. And number 41, Glenn Red, is increasingly making his presence known, the senior linebacker for the Cougars from Ogden.
I think you'll notice that McElhenney covers his ball up a little bit better than we saw him early in the game. He gets a good block here on number 12, and that really forced him to keep the ball. He had to take it inside, and Red was there to make the tackle.
For the Mustangs, 3rd down 7 at their own 32. Late first quarter, 19-7, SMU leading. Quarterback draw, but not enough for a first down. Brad Ane, the junior from Hawaii, number 93, limited McElhenney to short yardage. It is 4th down and maybe punt formation. We say that because for those of you who joined us late, when SMU was leading 7-0 on a 4th and 1, the ball was snapped instead of to the punter, to the short man Craig James, and he ran for 6. Now, by Sakahima is the one-man deep for Brigham Young with only 30 seconds left in the first quarter. The punter is Eric Kafis, and he is an excellent punter, as witnessed by this punt. Inside the 10. Fumble!
The first SMU player overran it.
somehow SMU did not get the football, and the Cougars got it back at their own 11.
This ball really looks slippery. Vi Sikahema is back, and it just slides right on through. Starts to head for the SMU bench, and the first SMU player overruns it, and Sikahema picks it up.
The clock tells us 16 seconds remain in a first quarter that has had more than its share of explosiveness. Wide to the right, Matt Braga, number 19. Scott Phillips, obviously the workhorse, not only as a runner but as a receiver, gets about 2 to the 13, and barring a penalty or a timeout call, that will be the final play of the first quarter. So the Holiday Bowl has sent off fireworks from San Diego as we have reached the end of the first quarter. Action resumes at the Holiday Bowl after these messages from your local station. For the Cougars, second down 8 at the Cougar 13-yard line. McMahon. Intercepted by SMU at the SMU 46-yard line. Charles Bruton, a senior defensive back, number 27 from Nacogdoches.
This is an excellent play on the part of Bruton. It looks like he's beaten. McMahon does not get this ball out in front of the receiver enough, and Bruton is able to make up the ground and make the interception. Excellent play by the defense.
First turnover of the game belongs to the Mustangs, and they have it at their own 46-yard line. Incidentally, the clock didn't start to run on the scoreboard. So the play was run off, and this is Dickerson, the big tailback, who is, along with Craig James, done an excellent job in this tailback-oriented offense, and there is the man who intercepted Bruton for the Mustangs. Now the clock starts to run. I think this might be the reason for this huddle on the part of the officials. That first play, the passing play of the second quarter, resulted in no seconds being run off the clock. Second down.
Moving too quick. Go! Let's go, baby.
At the 48-yard line of BYU. Short gain for the fullback, Michael Charles.
Good tackle by the middle linebacker, Kyle Whittingham.
Which gives us an opportunity to identify some of these other BYU defenders. The linebackers are St. Pierre, 38, Whittingham, who made that tackle, 59, and Red, 41. And here are the linebackers.
You'll see the middle linebacker, Whittingham, excuse me. No, that's, Whittingham. He shoots after the center blocks back. He comes into that hole and makes the tackle for virtually no gain.
Third down, 3.5. McElhenney getting some pressure. Penalty flag down. Dickerson was the receiver, but a penalty flag down behind the line.
That is the first pass completion for SMU and McElhenney.
And a roughing the passer penalty will be very costly here to Brigham Young, because the gain was to the Brigham Young 42-yard line. And we'll await the explanation from referee John McClintock. As a major penalty is measured off against the Cougars, which moves the ball to the Brigham Young 27-yard line.
And it was roughing the passer, although McElhenney did not end up on the ground. Apparently he got hit well after he threw the ball.
Number 44 for the Cougars into the defensive lineup is David Ophew. And wide to the right is the speedster who sometimes carries on reverses, Mitchell Bennett. First down. Fake to the tailback. This is Bennett. Ran a good pattern and a first and goal to go at the Brigham Young 7-yard line.
He runs a fine pattern, and
a penalty flag.
There's a flag down at the 7. I think you'll see excellent pass protection for McElhenney. He makes a running fake to the deep back, and then Mitchell breaks it across the middle, and we don't even see a defender in the picture.
Mitchell Bennett is hit then by Bill Shefflin, the cornerback.
I think that must be a face mask. Oh, there it is. A little pushing.
There's Ron Meyer, the head coach of SMU. We understood he had some things planned that Brigham Young would not be ready for, and so far we've seen them. Half the distance to the goal line. Another penalty against BYU moves the ball inside the 4. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the signal. So now the Mustangs are going to go to a double tight end. Pardon me, Grady.
I was going to say, Ray, one wonders if BYU, the players aren't getting just a little bit frustrated, unable to do anything on offense, and really unable to contain this SMU offense as well.
Close-up is of McElhenney. It's his brother Lot McElhenney who is in motion, and the tailback is hit near the line of scrimmage by Glenn Titanser.
Let's go! What a throw about line!
I don't think we need to tell you we have a microphone down along the sidelines.
That's a happy group of Mustangs down there.
Second and goal between the 1 and 2 yard line of Brigham Young. Early second quarter, 19-7, SMU leading. Dickerson now is the tailback. The fullback is Dijkhuizen. The tailback, Dickerson to the outside. Nope. Brigham Young was waiting. 43 was Shefflin, the fine cornerback, one of the first to make contact, and a loss on the play near the 4 yard line where it is third and goal. And now BYU substitutes in the secondary with Bob Preston.
Ray, this is a super defensive play by Shefflin. He gets across the line in excellent shape and forces Dickerson back to the middle where all the pursuit is, and they hold him to a 1 yard loss.
So it is third and goal for SMU with 12 minutes remaining in the first half. A reminder that the poinsettia is the symbol of this third annual Holiday Bowl.
SMU timeout.
And SMU decides here to talk things over. So as a result, a Mustang timeout with exactly 12 minutes left to play in a very surprising first half. It sees the Mustangs leading 19-7 and knocking on the door of another TD. Third and goal.
Be interesting to see what Ron Meyer and his offensive assistant Steve Endicott cooked up for this situation.
The only setback is Charles, the fullback. McElhenney to the end zone. Touchdown.
That was to James. He had lined up as a wingback on the right, went in motion all the way across the formation, and I don't know if the Brigham Young defenders lost him in all that activity, but he was very open, and it was an easy touchdown for SMU. There goes James across the formation. McElhenney looks like he's going to sprint it out and run. And when he throws it, you'll see that nobody is close to James.
Little did we know when we said that this was a tailback-oriented offense of the big role that these tailbacks would play. Craig James and Eric Dickerson have been outstanding in an attack directed by the freshman Lance McElhenney, the quarterback. There appears to be a little bit of confusion, and as a result, before we have another extra point, we're going to have another timeout with that score here in the second quarter. Kicker Eddie Garcia is in. His holder is the punter, Eric Kafis. An attempt for point number 26 for SMU. Garcia on target. So the long road back for the BYU Cougars represents a 19-point deficit as of right now. One thing for sure, when a team like BYU is behind Grady, it doesn't represent any change in their philosophy of offense. They're going to throw no matter what.
It really doesn't, Ray. Here's another look at that little touchdown play. McElhaney keeps the ball, sprints to the left, and delivers it on time. James makes a reception and falls into the touchdown. I think that when the halftime statistics are posted, unless we have a tremendous turnaround, you'll find that SMU has had this ball for about 75% of the time.
We have 11 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the second quarter as the deep men go back to position. Again will be Pettis, number 29, down at the near corner. There he is. On the far side will be Sikahema. Meanwhile, across the way, one of the wide receivers for the Mustangs, Gary Smith, was talking to one of Ron Meyer's staff. Garcia has been in a sort of feast or famine situation. He's had one kick all the way over the end line, and he's had two that were shanked a bit to the side and out of bounds. Sikahema might be able to run this one out. Yep. 5, 10. Short run back. Mustangs have done an excellent job of covering kicks, so Jim McMahon and company must start from the BYU 16-yard line, trailing 26-7. We see that Phillips will be the tailback, number 20. Eric Lane, number 36. The Hayward, California senior, will be the fullback.
Got the T scoop the backside. Get this guy cut off.
Pretty sophisticated terminology, as near as I can tell, Ray.
You want to know what goes on along the sidelines? That's what goes on along the sidelines. From the Brigham Young 16. McMahon being chased and loses about 5. Chased out of bounds by Byron Hunt, the Longview, Texas senior defensive end.
You'll see some strong penetration here in the middle of this line. That's the nose tackle, Michael Carter, just driving the center back. He loses him at the line of scrimmage, gets McMahon into a running game, and eventually wins it.
Result, loss of about 4. Second down, 14 at the Cougar 11.5-yard line. Wide to the left is Bill Davis. To the right is Dan Plater. Incomplete is the ruling. Plater had it for an instant for Reno, Nevada junior, but it's ruled incomplete. And for Brigham Young, it is going to be a 3rd and 14.
SMU is getting such a strong pass rush on McMahon, and obviously good coverage in certain instances. They force him out of his original throw over here to Plater on the sideline. And
I'm sorry, that was Eric Lane, not the 86.
Yep. Even if Lane had made that reception, he wouldn't have gotten too much.
3rd and 14. At the 30-yard line, McMahon gets a big third down completion to his wide receiver, Matt Braga.
This is the kind of play that McMahon is capable of. You'll see Braga coming from the left side, and he just runs a square-in pattern. On this particular play, the BYU offensive line gives McMahon good protection. Braga, a little guy, not a great deal of speed, but an excellent receiver because he rarely drops one.
First down at the Brigham Young 31-yard line. 26-7 is the score, and SMU is leading. The big rush, and the ball batted down by one of those big defensive linemen. I believe that might have been Michael Carter, the strong man, nose guard, the sophomore from Dallas.
You know, that was one of the occasions when the center, Bart Oates, had an excellent block on Carter, and it ended up working against BYU because Carter was still on the line of scrimmage whenever the ball was thrown.
Second down, 10. Draga goes to the right. Lloyd Jones comes out to the left. Two of McMahon's favorite targets. Fumble. McMahon gets it back. But loss of a couple. Loss of a down. It'll be 3rd and 12 at the Cougar 29.
See if the exchange works out here. That does look like he pulled out just a little bit on the center. He had the presence of mind, of course, to get back in there and scramble around and make the recovery.
3rd down, 12, 11 minutes to play, first half. Here comes the rush. Down goes McMahon. The blitz came from Blaine Smith, one of the safety men, number 23.
Yep, safety blitz, and if we get a replay on this.
Maybe from her.
She might have it. Watch the nose guard here. Take a swing at the center. This is not a game for the genteel.
So McMahon is sacked. Punt formation time. Simmons is deep at the SMU 41-yard line. Good punt. Simmons, fair catch, 44-yard line, SMU. A very explosive SMU Mustang team has the ball at their own 44-yard line. With 10 minutes to play in the first half, it sees SMU leading 26-7. That can be labeled nothing but a big surprise. Here's Derrick. Here is Dickerson, their talented tailback, running one-on-one against Glenn Heitenser, the senior from Westminster, California. And the result, no gain.
I think you'll see a good defensive play here by the left-end Heitenser. He gets a little help from Whittingham on the rush. I think it was more Heitenser than anything, and he evidently won that one-on-one battle with Lee Spivey.
2nd down, 10. Wide to the left is Mitchell Bennett. To the right is Gary Smith. McElhenney fakes short.
There's a flag down.
Number 89, Gary Smith, was the intended target. What McElhenney wanted to give him was that stop and go.
You will see that Bill Shefflin prevented the go part of that stop and go.
But pass interference to call. First down, SMU, Brigham Young, 44-yard line. And bringing in the play from the sidelines is tight end Ricky Bolden. So apparently SMU now will move to double tight ends. Fox 86, Bolden 87. The one wide receiver is Bennett, who is wide to the left, right in front of his coach Ron Meyer. This is Dickerson. Limited to about 4 yards. Has Brigham Young made any great defensive change in strategy, in alignment, or anything, Grady, to try and stop this offense?
I haven't seen anything. They still are playing a very balanced defense with the 4 down linemen lining up over the guards and the tackles. The middle linebacker appears to be a little more active than he was at the start of this game, and in fact is crowding the ball almost in a blitzing mode.
2nd down 7, 41-yard line of Brigham Young. That was Anthony Smith in motion. McElhenney has a lot of running room if he wants to run. First down inside the 30. Boy, what a dimension he adds to this offense with that great ability to run. And he's only a freshman from Dallas.
A really quick move you'll see by McElhenney. He gets to the outside, fakes to the tailback. He wants to throw this ball. Can't find anybody. Tucks it away, and there he shows his real speed.
Got a great block from Michael Charles, his sophomore fullback. First down SMU, Brigham Young 29-yard line. Just over 8 minutes to play in the first half. Dominated totally by SMU except for the one touchdown pass by McMahon to his tight end. This time the fullback is used for one of the few times in this game. Michael Charles, who blocked well on the first down run for McElhenney, gets 2 yards to the 26-yard line. That tells you the score. And it's only the second quarter. Continuing to go with two tight ends. Fox is on the left. Bolden is on the right. Again, Anthony Smith goes in motion. This is Dickerson. Forced deep. Good play. I think that was set up by the safety, Mark Brady, was it not?
Without question. Brady read that turnaround option play that was successful early. And you'll see strong penetration by the safety, Brady. And McElhaney just had nowhere to go with the ball. Brady is right there, 5 yards deep in the SMU backfield.
And that enabled Tittenser to make the tackle. Loss on the play. 3rd and 9 at the BYU 27-yard line. Anthony Smith is out to the left, working against cornerback Tom Holmoe. Pressure. Incomplete pass, or is it a lateral?
It was an incomplete pass.
Incomplete. It was a forward, but very close to being a lateral pass.
From our vantage point, I think that we could see it was a pass.
So 4th down. And Garcia, the place kicker, with Cathus, the holder, is coming in, and we apparently will have a field goal attempt of about 44 to 45 yards.
And the other one he made was 42 yards, so this is well within his range.
A 44-yard attempt. 6:52 to play, first half. It is good.
By a long way.
What a strong leg by Eddie Garcia. There's that kick again by Garcia, the successful field goal. Is he happy? He is happy. Disappointed when he makes a bad kickoff, happy when he makes a good field goal. Only the one return man this time for BYU, and it's Sikahema. Out to about the 21-yard line. Now let's see who the operators will be here on the offense. Eric Lane will be the fullback. Scott Phillips will be the tailback. The last man to join the huddle will be the man who broke all of those NCAA passing records, Jim McMahon. Wide to the left is Braga. To the right, Lloyd Jones. Good protection. There's Braga. Up to the Brigham Young 53-yard line.
Which looks like the same pattern that the BYU ran during their last possession.
There is the kicker, Eddie Garcia.
Well, 1981, Ray, is right around the corner, and Mislou's magic will continue. We're going to have the CPC Women's International Golf Tournament coming up live on May 3rd. So be sure to join us, ladies and gentlemen, for one of the top women's tournaments of the new year, right?
BYU from the Cougar 43-yard line. McMahon, 45-yard line of the Mustangs. It's another first down. This time it's Bill Davis, and you'll notice, I'm sure, Brigham Young substitutes not one, but 2 wide receivers on virtually every play.
You'll see an excellent effort here on this replay. Yeah, Bill Davis going down. The ball is thrown apparently wide of him, but he makes a diving.
And down goes McMahon behind the line for a loss of about 6. And McMahon has been shaken up.
That's the second sack on young Jim McMahon.
It was Harvey Armstrong who reached the talented BYU quarterback for a loss of 6. There's the kicker, Eddie Garcia. Lance McElhaney, rather, number 11, the freshman quarterback of the Mustangs. Now we're back to the field of play, 2nd down and 16. And Eric Lane drew a crowd in a hurry as Brigham Young tried to cross up the Mustangs, but waiting
But it's a tough way to make a living. Running a draw play with 15 yards to go, and that SMU defense
3-yard loss.
very strong and just taking away all the running lanes.
Third down, 18. Lloyd Jones is off to the wide side, working against John Simmons, the outstanding cornerback. Now they're going to double up on that side. He's going for Braga. Good coverage by Dick Blaylock, a senior from Dallas.
He really airs this one out, Ray. About 55 yards, and with very little effort here. Just getting his feet set. Didn't appear to put anything extra on it, and there's the ball appearing at the end zone.
So it is fourth down. 4:35 now left in the half. Simmons is back at the 15-yard line to our left for SMU as we look at the end of that last play. Penalty flags are down. Did you see a fair catch there?
He did not signal a fair catch, but the coverage team has to give the receiver an opportunity to make the reception, and you'll see that the coverage team runs into Johnny Simmons.
So the signal's given by referee John McClintock. The infraction was by Brigham Young, and Brigham Young has very definitely hurt him.
Here's the play. Simmons is coming up to make the catch. Not a fair catch, but you still have to give him room. There's the coverage team, runs into him before the ball gets there. I don't think that hit was worth 15 yards.
So Jim Herman is called for the infraction. Result, SMU possession at the SMU 33-yard line. We still have over 4 minutes left to play in a first half that has been dominated almost in total by the Mustangs. Scored on their first possession. Scored a second touchdown on a run out of punt formation. Scored on a pass. Number 81 wide left is Anthony Smith, the only wide receiver. SMU going with a double tight end offense. Here comes the tailback, Craig James, hard running, getting good yardage. First down out around the 45-yard line. Boy, they have two hard-running tailbacks in Craig James and Eric Dickerson.
They also have an excellent offensive line. Watch the right end, Ricky Bolton, number 87. He takes the linebacker and just drives him back off the ball and doesn't lose him until he's got him 6 yards deep in the secondary, and then James does the rest.
Result, SMU first down, Mustang 45-yard line. Number 81, Anthony Smith, will be replaced by Mitchell Bennett, the sophomore speedster from Bonham, Texas. He is to the near, the short side of the field. Mitchell Bennett. Right to the tailback. McElhenney gets away from one, but not another Cougar. But McElhenney does well to get back to the line of scrimmage before being brought down by Chuck Ian.
Excellent pass coverage in the secondary. McElhaney has time initially to throw the ball, but can't find anyone, then has to end up running and makes a fine play in his own right, avoiding that first tackle and getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Now Anthony Smith comes back in, sent in by that man, Ron Meyer. 2nd and 10 SMU at their own 45-yard line. The fullback. Nothing there as Michael Charles is hit down very quickly. It will be 3rd down and 9 at the Mustang 46. We're going to have a change in the offensive line now. Harry Hartnett is coming in. He'll replace Mike Mason at right guard.
Ray, one of my favorite sports, and I know the viewers too, the sport of bowling, and the Miller Doubles Bowling Championship coming up in Reno, Nevada in February. I'm looking forward to it on the Mislew Television Network.
Here's a 3rd and 9, SMU play. McElhenney under pressure.
McElhenney completed.
That pass was completed somehow.
I have
Anthony Smith.
no idea.
Was it Anthony Smith? No, it wasn't. It was tight end Clement Fox. But how in heaven's name McElhenney ever got it away, I don't know.
Here's McElhenney. He wants to look left. Can't find anybody. Goes into his act. Scrambles around. Makes a couple of people miss. And Mark Brady came right over the top of Fox. I don't know how in the world Fox hung onto that ball, but he did.
Lance McElhenney signaled over to his coach that he definitely wanted to go for the first down. The play gained to within a yard of a first down at the Cougar 46-yard line. Now, there's no indication here on the part of SMU that they are going to kick it away. I don't know whether we should call that a ground level or about an amp level camera. Great. Here's the signal. We had a penalty, defensive penalty, a pass interference penalty, which will result in a first down. And here, we're going to say we're going to hear from the referee, but our referee's microphone has not been in operation this evening.
What they had was a 9-yard gain, but it would have been left at 4th and 1. And they took a 5-yard penalty, which made it 1st and 10.
But it is a 1st and 10 at the SMU 49. Dyke Husen is the fullback. Anthony Smith is in motion. The fake was to Dickerson. McElhenney loves to roll. Penalty flag down. The pass incomplete at the 38-yard line of BYU. But remember, we have a penalty flag.
This is a real contact game, and we mentioned earlier, it's not for the timid. Watch this hit. Ouch. SMU
will be penalized on the play if Brigham Young elects to accept it. And the Cougars do. And it's a major penalty, a 15-yarder.
15-yarder.
2:28 to play in the half, a holding penalty. A 15-yarder moves it back to the SMU 35-yard line. Now let's see if SMU would desert the double tight ends, might use the wide. Now they're going to go with the double wide receivers. Now Anthony Smith 81, Gary Smith 89 are both in the game. Anthony Smith will go in motion. This is Dickerson trying to get outside and nowhere to go. Good play. Brad Ane, the junior from Hawaii, number 93, and a loss on the play.
This is excellent penetration by the right side of the BYU defense. Dickerson just has no place to go. Ane comes up and makes this tackle for a 5-yard loss.
Well, stay with us at halftime now as we see one of the younger members of the audience as we have the Queens in review. And we have some beauties, gentlemen, here at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Also, the Navy will be featured at halftime.
2nd and 30 as Dickerson gets about 9 or 10, and it's going to be a 3rd and 20. Watching the clock, it's running. Less than a minute and a half will remain in the first half when the ball is snapped the next time by Lance Peterson, the captain, to his quarterback Lance McElhenney. But the Cougars decide that they'll stop the clock here with the timeout. The score here in the 3rd annual Holiday Bowl: SMU 29, Brigham Young 7. We are live at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. The SMU Mustangs have shocked this crowd of near 30,000 by leading BYU 29-7 here late in the first half. It is a 3rd and 20 for the Mustangs at their own 39-yard line. Lance McElhenney has directed this attack all of the first half. Hands off to Dickerson, his tailback. Dickerson gets a couple of yards. It's going to bring up a 4th and long. Punt formation time for SMU. Brigham Young immediately calls another timeout. Incidentally, a moment ago, Dwayne Dow mentioned that we'll be featuring some Navy activities at halftime, and I think it appropriate that I speak for, amongst others, of our Mizzlou Television Network staff here, that amongst the highlights this week in San Diego was a luncheon and a tour of the USS Kitty Hawk. And for Captain Tudor Teague and his staff, one of the most delightful, interesting times that, can I speak for you, Grady? I just never enjoyed anything so much in my life as the visit to that carrier here in San Diego.
It was truly a great experience, having only seen aircraft carriers in movies, to see one up close.
It was truly an inspirational afternoon, and we're so grateful. It is punt formation time for Eric Kafus. Time left in the first half, 1 minute, 23 seconds. Back deep by Sikahema. Not too deep. Great difficulty running it back. But there goes Sikahema. Maybe.
He's gone.
He is gone. He is gone. Oh!
He just makes a truly outstanding move to field this ball among coverage people. I'm sure we'll get a replay of this from a couple of different angles. This is a great individual play by Sikahema. Here we are from the end zone. The kick is not very good. Kafus kicks it short. It bounces. The coverage man lets up just a little. Sikahema comes between them, picks it up down the sideline, and you'll see him make a fine move on the safety man here, which is Craig James.
And it's a play just like that could very well spark this Brigham Young team that is now within 16 points at 29-13. And the extra point attempt by Kurt Gunther is going to be a fake. It is going to be a pass, and it is going to be incomplete. The pass was attempted by Bill Shefflin.
Here's this kick return again from the ground level. You see how fast he's moving when he flies by those white shirts and just leaves them in a blur. Picks up a convoy after he crosses the 50-yard line, and there it is, 6 points.
So instead of, and we still have 1:10 left to play in the first half. SMU's lead is now 29-13. And that brought this host of Cougar fans who have followed their team from Utah to a roar here at San Diego Stadium. So a first half that was pretty much dominated by SMU.
Maybe we should talk tactics just a little bit. When you're behind by 22 points, you obviously need at least one two-point conversion to get back to a tie, and 2 of those two-point conversions in order to win. And so they didn't waste any time trying to go for the two-point conversion. Unfortunately, they didn't get it, and now they really need to get to take the lead in this game.
John Simmons for one is deep for SMU, and Dick Blaylock is the other. The kick will be by Lee Johnson.
Do you go onside here, Ray?
Well, you really wouldn't have too much to lose. It might be worth a try.
Lee Johnson kicking.
The decision is no. This is Blaylock at the goal line. 10, 20, that's all. Holding on for dear life was Mark Brady.
Mike Jensen. 20-yard return.
Mike Jensen was there. Now let's see whether SMU plays it close to the vest or not, with the ball deep in their own territory and 1:04 left in the half. There is the hero of that punt return, number 23 for the Cougars. By Sikahema, a freshman from Mesa, Arizona.
When things go bad, they really go bad. There's a penalty flag down
At the 29-yard line of SMU.
And I think they're calling tripping against BYU. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
So instead of having it at the 21, the Mustangs will have it at their 30, close to the 36. Now that's unusual. A clipping penalty against the team that kicked off. That you just don't see very often.
Particularly when you're the host school.
All right. The wide receiver is Gary Smith to the right. To the left is Anthony Smith. In the slot right is Dickerson, the tailback. And McElhenney's going to the air. Oh, and that was Shefflin who almost picked it off, intended for Dickerson. And that would have been 6 if he'd have grabbed that.
I hate to question a coach of Ron Meyer's ability, but one wonders what he's trying to prove here. I mean, you could sit on this lead very nicely, make the other guys come to you, and maybe you'd get some interceptions.
Now, 2nd and 10, SMU 35. Again, the single setback. Michael Charles, the Houston sophomore, but here goes McElhenney to the air again. And this one he completes, close to a first down out around the 46-yard line. Craig James, the tailback. And SMU is definitely trying to get something going here. 54 seconds left in the half now.
Here's an end zone shot of that pass. McElhenney drops back, gets more than adequate protection, hits James coming across the middle. And he was open, wide open.
First down, 46-yard line as the clock ticks away the final seconds. Here's Craig James. Hot from behind by Chuck Ian, the Layton Utah sophomore. This is the hurry-up offense, no huddle. Tailback Craig James, one of the running and receiving stars of the first half. That ball bounced off Glenn Teitzner, the defensive end, intended for Craig James.
Teitzner saw that they were going to try to throw the ball into the flat to James and just left his block. Did not try and rush McElhenney, just tried to get out there in the way and apparently got a piece of that ball.
Is Teitzner as active as it seems to me he is?
Yes, he makes a lot of plays for them. He is their leading sack man with 13 quarterback traps, and they've also given him credit for 38 hurries on the quarterback.
Smith and Bennett are both out wide to the left on 3rd down and 4. McElhenney is dropped for a loss. It'll be 4th down with only 22 seconds. Less than that now as the clock continues to run. Now, surprisingly, SMU asks for a timeout. Now that I don't understand, unless I don't see anybody injured.
No, I saw the man call the timeout, number 52, Robert Barnes. And the only reason you'd want to call one is if you're going to try and retain possession. After you've just gotten burned with an 80-yard punt return, I don't think you'd want to give the other man an opportunity.
I have a feeling that Ron Meyer might have been surprised by that timeout call.
Yes, I would have to agree.
The special team is about to come on with 17 seconds remaining in the half. Remember now, at halftime, in addition to other features, we'll have some highlights of that before-mentioned luncheon and visit to the USS Kitty Hawk. Sikahema is back. Eric Kafis will be doing the punting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see BYU go for a block here. If they happen to rough him, there's not much time left for SMU to do anything with it. But now the alignment doesn't indicate that.
They have just the 8 men up front. Oh, they did go for it, and Shefflin almost got one. Down by SMU. 26-yard line of Brigham Young. 6 seconds left in the half. Here was that near block.
Yep. And it's a great acting job by Kaifas. The man runs well in front of him. Now watch Kaifas fall. He now is qualified for the National Football League.
All right. 6 seconds left in a very exciting first half. Jim McMahon with maybe an opportunity to throw 1, maybe 2 more passes. He has thrown 1 touchdown pass. That to his tight end, Clay Brown, on an outstanding pass and run play. Brown made a great catch and then run. McMahon inside the 20. 4 seconds left. 2 seconds. He's going to let it all hang out. Down there and incomplete on the final play of the first half. But let me tell you something, as long as Jim McMahon and company's in the football game, this game is... Brady, there are a couple of statistics here that I think are worth pointing out as we await the final clearing of the field in the second half kickoff.
Well, the score obviously very one-sided. The stats are as well, Ray. Southern Methodist has 16 first downs to BYU's 5. Total net yards 248 for SMU and only 101 for Brigham Young. Brigham Young really has a minus 28 rushing yardage because of the 3 times that McMahon has been sacked. Passing, McElhaney's 4 of 8 for the 38 yards. McMahon 6 of 15 for 129, but he has had 1 pass intercepted. Penalties, 3 for 25 yards for Southern Methodist, and here's a big one. These penalties all have seemed to hurt Brigham Young, 7 for 68. But it's not impossible for this Cougar football team to get back into the ball game if their defense will have a good first series here and their offense can get something cranked up early.
Incidentally, a couple of little personal notes here before we have the second half kickoff, and SMU will be getting the ball at the start of the second half. We didn't realize how much of a family affair this is tonight. We have seen the SMU cheerleaders, Grady, from time to time. We just found out that one of them is a daughter of Coach Ron Meyer, Elizabeth Meyer. Another is the daughter of the SMU athletic director, Russ Potts. That would be Katie Potts. And then Russ Potts, the SMU athletic director, an old friend of ours, we found out that his former high school coach, Hunter Maddox, is down in Winchester, Virginia, and as far as we know is looking in tonight. So just a couple of personal sidelights. Mitchell Bennett will be deep to our right for SMU for 1, and Dick Blaylock for another. 29-13, SMU leading Brigham Young. 3rd annual Holiday Bowl. Temperature now, which was 65 at kickoff time, now down to probably the high 50s somewhere. And here we go. Lee Johnson kicks. Blaylock at the 5. 15. Out to the 25-yard line. Now let's see if we can spot immediately any basic changes on the part of defensive strategy by Brigham Young. Any indication that SMU might play it close to the vest at all? There was certainly no indication of that in the closing seconds of the first half. One of the Brigham Young cheerleaders. And another. Meanwhile, the tailback, Craig James, one of the running stars of the first half. What sort of rushing yardage did
James had
SMU have overall in that first half?
They had over 200 yards rushing. James had 105 of that. And Dickerson had 121, excuse me. Dickerson had 155.
2nd down, 8. Mustangs at their own 27. There is Craig James, one of the 2 great tailbacks. Anthony Smith in motion. McElhaney on a keeper, the freshman. Has it out to the fumble. SMU recovers, but apparently for a loss back. That is a loss as far as where McElhaney had been. He was at the 33, loses it back to the 30. It will be 3rd down and about 5.
That was an option to the right side, the one where McElhaney fakes coming left and then spins and goes back the other way. The end on that side, Titans played it fairly well, but he didn't get any help from the middle. And I think the middle linebacker or the safety have to come over there and help him hold that play down.
Gary Smith and Mitchell Bennett are out to the near side. There goes Bennett in motion. This is Craig James. 1st down out at the 40. McElhaney holds that ball to the absolutely last second. Does an excellent job.
No question about it. The defensive end eventually gets in to force this pitch, and then they throw it back to James. But this block by the outside receiver is the one that makes the play. Good lead block by the fullback as well.
So 1st down, SMU, Mustang 40. Lavelle Edwards, the Brigham Young head coach, along the near sidelines. Now SMU goes back to double tight ends and sends Mitchell Bennett in motion. This is James trying to get outside. Winds up with a very short gain.
Looked like he was going to end up with a loss, though. Hector was out there in good shape, and I think Bill Sheffield came up and was in good position. He just outran them.
Yeah, Shefflin almost had him deep, but James, with his good speed, manages to pick up 2 yards. Second down, 8. We're in the opening moments of the third quarter of the third annual Holiday Bowl from San Diego. SMU has a 29-13 lead and the football. The tailback now is Eric Dickerson, but the fullback, Michael Charles, straight ahead, short yardage, will bring up a third down, about 5 for a first down. SMU moved out to an early 19-0 lead. A McMahon to Clay Brown touchdown pass made it 19-7. The half ended 29-13, and that's where it is now. Smith in motion. 3rd and 5 play. This is Dickerson. Turning it on. Hit out of bounds by Mark Brady. The junior from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, finally made the defensive play, but great blocking and great running.
And I think, once again, you're going to see a good block by the fullback, Michael Charles. Good fake by McElhaney. There's the block by Charles. And then it's all Dickerson. He is really fast.
He reminds me a little bit of Curtis Dickey, the former fine running back at Texas A&M, now with the Colts.
He has done a 9.4 in the 100s.
New fullback, Dyke Husen at fullback. Anthony Smith in motion. 27-yard line of SMU. Here goes McElhaney. A lot of room. 25, 20. A gain of about 7 yards. 6 yards for the freshman quarterback.
They're taking advantage, a little bit of an advantage of Ed St. Pierre, who plays the weak side linebacker, and he's a small man at about 195 pounds, and you'll see that they knock him back off the ball pretty good shape. He's just now coming into the picture.
Gain of 6 for McElhaney. 2nd down 4. BYU 21-yard line. SMU has had the ball since the second half started. This is Dickerson. Good hole. Might have a first down around the 16-yard line. Before the tackle's made by Kyle Whittingham, the middle backer. Might be close enough to call for a measurement. It will. Number 19, Eric Dickerson, is only a sophomore from Sealy, Texas.
You know, James is only a sophomore, too. In talking to the people at SMU, they have been hesitant to play them both in the same backfield, but I think next year they're going to have to. They're just too good to keep both of those players, to keep one of them on the bench.
So it's a freshman quarterback, alternating sophomore tailbacks, and the Cougar defense, which has been on the field so very much of this game, digs in with SMU 1st and 10 at the Cougar 17-yard line. Dickerson gets a grudging 2 or 3 to the 13. It will be 2nd down 6. James will now be the tailback as Dickerson heads to the sidelines. Bennett now will come in and bring in the play.
I saw him run a couple of reverses in the films we looked at.
2 tight ends. 2nd and 6. This is James. Inside the 5. It is 1st and goal.
This is just good hard-nosed football. He takes this pitch very deep in the backfield, and I think the play is designed to go to the outside. He finds a hole to the inside, though, and decides that he's just going to take what he can get, and really gives up his body.
So 1st and goal to go for SMU, which has not given up the ball. Thank you, young ladies from Brigham Young. There's Lot McElhaney, an additional tight end in the game. James burrows down to about the 1-yard line, where it will be 2nd and goal. SMU has held the ball now for all 5 minutes of play in the second half. Came into the half leading 29-13, a yard away from another touchdown.
And haven't attempted a pass. I think they've run this ball 10 straight times. And that really would spell difficulty for Brigham Young, because SMU is a team that gets stronger as the game runs on, because they have some really big, strong people.
Dickerson for the touchdown.
This is a spectacular touchdown.
Eric Dickerson scores again.
He takes this ball fairly deep in the backfield, and as he approaches the line, he does a dive over, and it ends up being a flip. He does a complete 360, I think. Oh, someone got his feet. That's why. There's no question that he comes down in the end zone.
McElhenney stays in the game, and SMU will apparently go for 2. They're going to ask if the ball be placed at the hash mark with a 35-13 lead. Number of personnel changes being made. Michael Charles will come in and be the fullback. Drayton was in on the touchdown play at fullback. Indiantown, Florida, sophomore fullback Charles Drayton. So we are apparently in the midst of an SMU called timeout, because they wanted to make certain that they had the right personnel in for a 2-point conversion. We have received a note telling us, Grady, that John Simmons, the outstanding defensive back of SMU, sustained a bruised shoulder, and that the trainer says he may not play in the second half. That would be a big defensive loss for SMU.
He is their big play man on defense, but they really haven't needed too many big plays. Their offense has just been so outstanding. They have kept the ball for long drives, and they've ended up scoring at the end of each of those drives. You know, even if SMU goes for 2 points here, I don't know that anybody can construe it as pouring it on. A bowl game like this doesn't count in conference standings, and they may just want to be trying some things here.
2 wide receivers to the right. James was the man in motion, and big pressure that time was put on by David Ophew, sophomore linebacker. As a result, no 2-point conversion. It remains 35-13 SMU. SMU's Eddie Garcia preparing to kick off, which he has had an opportunity to do a lot of times this evening. Booms another one. Sukahima will not run this one back. Now SMU controlled the ball for 5 minutes and 23 seconds of this second half. This will be the first opportunity for Jim McMahon and the BYU offensive unit to try and do something about this score in the second half. It is 35-13 SMU. McMahon, head and shoulders, the nation's leading passer this year, has 2 wide receivers in the game. Short gain from the 20 to the 26-yard line. Little down and out to one of his wide receivers.
There's Lloyd Jones, number 87. And it's just a square out pattern. And you'll find the SMU defensive backs more than likely will be laying off. They aren't going to crowd a play like that. They'll let BYU march it down the field on them 6 and 8 yards of crack.
Second down, 4. This is Phillips, a tailback, and Phillips has a first down. Brady, your guess as to the type of strategy based on the first 2 plays of the second half, going for the short pass certainly would seem to be bearing true.
One wonders if it might not be just a little bit too late if their defense can't come around for them.
First down at the BYU 38. Davis goes to the wide side, the left. a tailback. That's about 5 to the 43-yard line.
They moved the ball 23 yards, and it's taken them only about 20 seconds.
Over 9 minutes to play, third quarter. BYU's touchdowns in the first half came on a pass to the tight end Brown and a punt run back by Sikahema. Phillips in motion. 2nd and 5. This is Phillips, and he has a first down at midfield. So McMahon and company are chipping away, have moved now from the BYU 20 out to the 50, where it'll be a first down.
That stops the clock at least until they can move the chains. I don't know if he got it out of bounds. No, he did not. They're now rolling the clock.
And tomorrow night on the Vizsla Television Network, tomorrow night the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Florida versus Maryland.
Phillips comes in motion again. McMahon, 10, 15. He picks up 20 quick yards. He got inside a strong rush.
He'll need more plays like this if he's going to bring Brigham Young back into this game. You see that he gets a good rush from the left side, wanted to throw a sprint out, then breaks out of the pocket. And when he goes down, looks to me like he just trips, gets a little tired. Here it is again from the ground level, and I think you'll see his feet get tangled. Right there, yep.
But it is a first down at the 31-yard line of SMU. Up the middle, Eric Lane gets to about the 29-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 8. Now into the game, number 86, Dan Plater, junior from Reno, Nevada. The defensive left halfback is Blaylock for SMU, and Bruton is on the other side with Simmons on the sidelines, hurt through his shoulder. This is a 2nd and 8 play. First down, Phillips at the 18-yard line.
This is really a well-thrown ball. He's got number 93, Russ Washington, out there on the undercover. Pretty good protection, does McMahon. Throws the ball on time. Russ Washington just out of the reach of Russ, and gets the completion at the sideline to Rob Anderson.
First down at the 18-yard line. Out to the right is Lloyd Jones. There he is, number 87. Big rush that time on McMahon by, thought I say Gary Moten, one of the linebackers, and as a result it'll be 2nd down and 18.
McMahon does an excellent job of avoiding this rush. You can see he's out here in the flat. The contained man has containment. Then the blitz comes, chases him out of the pocket. And to compile the kind of statistics that McMahon has compiled this year, he has to be able to do that kind of thing.
2nd down 10. 6:50 left to play, third quarter. 35-13. Brigham Young with the ball and trailing. Short gain for the Cougars. Scott Pettis, a reserve tailback, number 29. Down to the 13. It'll be 3rd and 5.
They turned the corner out there because of a good block on the end.
That stopped the clock with 6:45 remaining in the quarter. First to break huddle is wide receiver Matt Braga. He comes out wide to the right. Third and 5. Here comes a blitz. Tight end, touchdown, Clay Brown.
Excellent protection. The offensive lineman had the down lineman under control. And then when the blitz came, the backs picked it up very well. And McMahon stood in there like a statue until Clay Brown cleared. You see the good block there on number 33. McMahon finds Clay Brown coming across the formation from right to left. He slips the tackle. 6 points.
Clay Brown has his second touchdown reception of the game for McMahon, his second touchdown pass, and 49th of the season as BYU goes for 2. The intended receiver again, this time was Dan Plater. Mitchell Bennett is one of the 2 deep men for Lee Johnson's kick. Good kick. This will be Blaylock fielding it at the 5. And a good run back out to the 37-yard line. Well, let's see if a bit of a rest can do anything to revive this BYU defense, which has been roughed up quite a bit by this outstanding running attack of SMU. Here's that touchdown.
Clay Brown will come from the right to the left. There he is right behind the official now, and he is running away from the defender. Slips the tackle.
Back live. The fullback, Michael Charles, picks up about 5 in the 42-yard line, and SMU is piling up very impressive running yardage, just as their regular season statistics would indicate, as they have been a running team during the regular season, just as BYU has done very little on the ground following their regular season form.
Well, they have good running backs, but they also have a good offensive line that gets off the ball very quickly and stays on their feet.
This is Craig James. It's a first down. Or run out of bounds by Glenn Red. But here comes SMU right back again. First down, 43-yard line of Brigham Young.
Here's the play again. The quick pitch back to James. And there you see all those SMU offensive linemen still on their feet with contact on the blue shirts.
Brigham Young goes now. Brigham Young has to face 2 wide receivers now. SMU has deserted their double tight end offense. This is Dickerson. Good hold. About 5 yards.
BYU hasn't given up in this game by any means. They are now starting to move their defensive linemen around, trying to put them into the seams between the offensive linemen, see if they can shoot them through and make a big play.
Second down, 6 after a gain of 4. Dickerson has replaced Charles at fullback. Here goes Dickerson. He's close to another SMU first down at Brigham Young 33-yard line. Just over 5 minutes to play, third quarter. SMU leading Brigham Young by 35-19. This will be close enough to call for a measurement. Dickerson continues his hard running. SMU's offensive line of Jusko, either Barnes or Mason on the one side of center. Peterson, Spivey, a rather dour-looking Lavelle Edwards right now. Just inches short of a first down. 3rd and inches at the 33-yard line of Brigham Young.
This SMU, if you get into a muscle contest with them, you're likely to come out on the short end. That offensive line is big and strong, and they have a great deal of experience. Every one of them has earned 3 letters, with the exception of the left guard, Robert Barnes, and he's a senior who was a 2-year letterman, probably earning his 3rd this year.
Double tight end. No wide receivers. There was a false move by the right tackle, Lee Spivey, and alertly one of the Brigham Young defensive linemen moved. Now that's the way I interpret it.
I saw the same thing, and that was Glenn Titanser that came across the line. Here's the replay. It'll be on the left as you view this thing. Oops, no, that is that's the left tackle from BYU, but he was drawn off apparently by the right tackle of Southern Methodist.
So third down, and now a little more than 5 yards to go for a first down. And SMU immediately changes personnel and will come with the 2 wide receivers, Anthony Smith and Gary Smith. This is Anthony Smith, slips 1 tackle and picks up a first down. So far in this game, SMU has found the answer to almost all third down problems.
Here's a nice shot of it. You've got the 2 wide receivers out there. It's a quick screen. They throw it to the man in the backfield, gets a block to the other man, and makes the first defender miss the tackle, and it's good for 10 yards.
First down, 30-yard line for Brigham Young. Anthony Smith will split out to the near side, number 81. The fullback. This time, Dickerson is caught at the line of scrimmage. And there is the ever-present form of number 76, Glenn Titanser, senior defensive end from Westminster, California. Here comes Mitchell Bennett with the play selection from head coach Ron Meyer. The last play gained a yard. Second down 9, the Brigham Young 29. Bennett lines up wide to the right. Here comes that reverse, fake reverse. So they used the fake reverse, and Brigham Young played it very, very well. We know for a fact that Brigham Young was scared to death. They were scared to death of this play, and yet they wound up defending it very well.
Yes, they did. Glenn Titanser stays out here. He avoids a block by Spivey and makes the play, although he ends up getting the tackle.
A loss on the play. Back to the 34-yard line. It is now third down and between 14 and 15 yards to go for first down. This might be the most critical third down play of the game. That was Craig James, who moved out in the slot to the left. Deep drop back by McElhenney. He has a first down. Lance McElhenney showing wisdom far beyond his tender years. He's only a freshman.
This is excellent judgment by McElhenney. He drops back, almost slips, gets his left hand down, gets his balance, sees that the rush is by him, and he's got nothing but grass between he and the goal line. Takes off running
and picks up a vital first down at the Brigham Young 15-yard line with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter, and his Mustangs leading 35-19. Here goes Craig James to the outside. Great bit of running, and a penalty flag goes flying as James went out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Boy, when you've got it going, it really goes well for you.
A clipping penalty against SMU.
There was the clip right there. He going out to the right against the strong side linebacker Glenn Redd. Possibly there's more than one clip on this play. There is Redd, number 41. And
yeah, there's the clip right there.
I think that's the one they called.
Yeah. No doubt about it. The official's right on the spot, and a big gain by James on a very smart bit of running to the 5-yard line or thereabouts is nullified, and the ball goes back to the 24-yard line. And at that point, it will be a first down.
First and what? 15?
Well, they must reach the 5 from the 24, so it's first and 19. 2 wide receivers, Gary Smith and Mitchell Bennett, way off to the wide side. This is Dickerson. And a good tackle by Bill Shefflin may have saved the touchdown, and Dickerson is hurt.
got into a little pushing contest there.
So tailback Eric Dickerson has apparently been injured. We're at the Holiday Bowl, and SMU has a 16-point lead. Hi, Mom, she says. Dickerson, shaken up on the play, had picked up 8 yards. It is 2nd and 11 for SMU at the 16-yard line of Brigham Young. Dickerson has gained 125 yards and 21 carries. This is for Anthony Smith. Oh, he got away from Bill Shepland, but McElhenney was off target, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11 at the 16-yard line of Brigham Young.
Ray, when you watch these teams, I think the thing that impresses you, first of all, is what the physical specimens that SMU has out there. They really play good, hard football, but they have outstanding team speed. Their 2 tailbacks are very fast, and the wide receivers, though they don't throw them very much, whenever they have a chance to run a pattern, they get themselves open.
3rd down and 11 as McElhenney is being chased, and down he goes as Glenn Red sacks McElhenney all the way back at the 26-yard line.
And that's the first sack that they've had on McElhenney. I think you'll see that BYU is really starting to play hard, and I believe that this is the first time they've blitzed, because Glenn Red plays a strong side linebacker, and he was rushing and made the play, and I don't know if this is going to be a change in strategy or not.
Now, the field goal kicker, Ed Garcia, has come onto the field. This will be an attempt at about a 42-yard field goal. What is his longest been of the game? About 44, as I recall?
Yes, he hit the 42-yarder first and a 44-yarder on his second kick.
The lead now for SMU is 16 points. 1 minute 36 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. The holder is the punter, Eric Kifus. He has the distance, and Garcia is adding to his great place kicking here in the 3rd annual Holiday Bowl. It is now 38-19. Hope you're enjoying this 3rd annual Holiday Bowl. Along the sidelines, along the Brigham Young bench, number 76, outstanding defensive end, Glenn Heitenser. Here is the young man who thrilled this crowd at San Diego Stadium with a punt return for a touchdown in the closing moments of the first half by Sakahima. No, he won't. Garcia gets another great kick. I'll tell you something, this Garcia represents one of the great weapons for SMU. Not only with his field goal kicking, but that's about 3, maybe 4 kickoffs so deep that Brigham Young was not able to make a return.
I think that Brigham Young only returned 1 kick, and that was when Garcia kicked 2 out of bounds. So the ultimate kickoff only went to the 5.
All right, Jim McMahon and company go to work as we look at a replay of that field goal by Garcia of a moment ago. We're back live. McMahon, who has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Good protection underneath. He hits Bill Davis, his wide receiver, and it's a first down out to the BYU. What do we have going on along the sideline?
Bill Davis looks like he's about to be mugged over there. A lot of enthusiasm, these 2 fine teams.
Big gain on the play from the 20
to the 40. Oh, 35 they gave it.
35-yard line, so a gain of 15 just like that. 1 minute 6 seconds left, 3rd quarter. A touchdown on this drive by Brigham Young, providing it has not consumed too much time. Look, the team came out to the 40-yard line out of the huddle. They thought the ball was at the 40. So they're going to be permitted another huddle.
Well, you started to say a touchdown on this drive. If it doesn't take forever to get it done,
we'll put them really in pretty good shape.
Really gets this ball game back into a position where Brigham Young is within striking distance.
Wide receiver Lloyd Jones is off to the left. Brigham Young employing a slot back. Oh, down goes McMahon.
That is at least the third sack.
And a penalty flag is down behind the line as we now look down at the near sidelines and Lavelle Edwards, who has done a lot of pacing in the course of this evening's developments.
You would suspect that is holding, but, you know, I thought that they grabbed McMahon by the face mask.
Let's see what the signal is. Here it is.
Personal foul. Right there's the good rush by that left tackle again.
Armstrong.
There it looks like he's got the face mask, but he apparently has the shirt. The holding was caught almost immediately up near the line of scrimmage.
So a big penalty moves the ball all the way back to the 12-yard line. Brigham Young must reach the 45-yard line. It is second down and 33.
This is one of those situations where you can't coach a play. You just have to hope one of your players does something outstanding.
No blitzing. Underneath to Davis. They'll get some of those yards back, and a penalty flag. That is going to cost SMU for a hit out of bounds. Instead of a gain of 10 yards, there'll be a penalty tacked on, and this will be, of course, a big break for Brigham Young.
We'll get a look at this penalty. It's the same pattern that they just ran, a short pass to Davis over the middle, and he has excellent speed. He was going to try and get it up the sideline again. He starts to turn right here, and there's the late hit. I'm obviously out of bounds. No reason to make that tackle.
So the penalty moves the ball out to the 37-yard line. Third down.
No, I think
it will be third down and about 7 or 8 for a first down.
The referee signaled first down, but he was wrong because the ball just was past the first down stake.
24 seconds left to play, third quarter. 38-19, SMU leading. A big third down here for Brigham Young. 3rd and 8. No blitz. Excellent coverage in the secondary by SMU, and nowhere to go for McMahon. And it'll be a punt formation time for BYU with the final seconds ticking away here in the third quarter. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the third quarter here in the third annual Holiday Bowl. And here is that play again, Grady. The score, 38-19 SMU at San Diego Stadium, as Brigham Young, foiled on third down, is faced with a 4th and 12.
With Johnny Simmons out of the game, we'll have to see if we can pick up who the deep man is.
Dick Blaylock, who is used on kickoff returns. It'll be down at the 35-yard line of SMU. Incidentally, Eric Dickerson, who was slightly injured, sustained a bruised knee the last time he carried the football, we are told can return to the game. Dickerson and Craig James have been the running stars of this game, alternating tailbacks of SMU. The fullback will be Charles Drayton. The tailback is Craig James. And here is James. Another huge chunk of yardage behind the outstanding SMU offensive line of Jusko, 71, from Granada Hills, California. Robert Barnes of Corpus Christi, Texas.
Here's a look from the end zone, and you can see once again the white shirts just put their face right on the blue shirts and keep their feet, and it opens up a crack, and with people like James and Dickerson, they always find that crack.
The centers, Lance Peterson of Austin, Mike Mason, Palestine, at least Spivey of Houston, the interior lineman of SMU. The second down 3. Here comes James, the hard-working tailback, for a first down at the SMU 47-yard line. And I would have to say that the excellence of the SMU offensive line has perhaps been the single most important factor in what has led to a 38-19 SMU lead.
I would have to agree, Ray. They have totally dominated the line of scrimmage through the first 3 quarters of this game, and you can see the results, points on the scoreboard.
Anthony Smith is the only wide receiver. SMU is back to its double tight end offense. Bolden and Fox are in the game. Here comes the freshman McElhenney being chased, but he still completes his pass to tight end Clement Fox. What a future for this backfield. The freshman from Dallas, McElhenney, 2 sophomore tailbacks, 2 sophomore fullbacks.
Nice fake. He used the ball to fake to James and then sprinted out to the sideline. Under heavy pressure, still managed to find his receiver.
Result, gain 5 yards to the Brigham Young 48-yard line. The one wide receiver to the left is Gary Smith. Now he has Anthony Smith out there as well. About 3 yards for James to the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 2. And Eric Dickerson is back in the game and will replace James at tailback. Number 44 just checked into the defensive lineup for the Cougars. Linebacker David Apu. 3rd and 2 for SMU. Smith is used in motion. McElhenney keeps, and he does not get the first down. Now, that's about as well as you can play that option play.
The last couple of series, they've used two linebackers on the inside. I guess they figured that they aren't going to pass it anyway.
In March here on Missoula, the World Professional Arm Wrestling Championships. Another bit of magic to look for, and it appears that Eric Kafis will kick it away. He's averaged over 44 yards per punt for SMU. And Vi Sakahima is back. Fair catch. Sakahima, 9-yard line. With 11:37 left to play in the game, the 3rd annual Holiday Bowl.
The paid attendance, 50,000, 45,000 people at San Diego Stadium tonight.
Yes, and we're really thrilled with that. It's a great turnout, a beautiful evening, and we just think that these 2 teams have put on a great show, and the game isn't over yet either.
Jim Brown, congratulations. And Ray Scott, I know you echo those sentiments.
Yes, Wayne, thank you, and thank you, Jim Brown, and all of your people. A very happy group of Mustangs. They smell a victory. The first down pass was completed from McMahon to Dan Plater. A short gain from the 9 to the 13, 2nd down 6 at the BYU 13. We still have 11 minutes left to play. McMahon. Good catch by wide receiver Matt Braga, the senior from Redlands, California.
He is really an impressive receiver. Here's excellent protection, and then you'll see a fine reception here. Braga has to leave his feet to make that reception, but he comes up with it. That's his 3rd of the game, I believe, and not a one of them has been an easy catch.
A first down at the BYU 24. That's Ron Meyer, the head coach of SMU. Slot back formation. Underneath. This is the tailback, Scott Phillips. It's another BYU first down. This one out at the 38-yard line.
Boy, what quick feet he has. He makes that reception coming from right to left. And whenever the traffic starts to catch up with him, he avoids it.
When you get a chance here, as we watch McMahon on a replay, Grady, maybe we can come up with some unofficial statistics on McMahon so far.
Makes an excellent move there to avoid the first tackle.
First down, Brigham Young, 38-yard line. This is his wide receiver, Lloyd Jones, a pickup of about 7 to the 45-yard line. Jim pardon me.
Ray has completed his last 4 passes, and 3 of them have been to crossing ends coming underneath the coverage. And he has now thrown 27 passes, and he has completed 17 for about 228 yards.
Second down, 3 at the Cougar 45-yard line, 9.5 minutes remaining. Was there a request for another football? I believe so. That's the reason for the brief official timeout. McMahon.
See you. I love you, man. See you Saturday.
See you Saturday, says the SMU fullback, David Dickerson. No rush. This is the fullback, Eric Lane. To the 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1.
At the Blue Bonnet Bowl, Ray, a new page in the Mizzlou book and a brand new first in sports television. We're going to ask our television fans to phone in and give us a yes or no answer on a very important topic of football conversation during the Blue Bonnet Bowl telecast on New Year's Eve. Should be sure to watch on New Year's Eve the Blue Bonnet Bowl on Mizzlou.
Very good. 3rd and 1. Brigham Young, BYU 46-yard line. And a big rush on McMahon by Russ Washington, the lightning-quick Fort Worth, Texas sophomore defensive end.
He was in big trouble right from the start. He was getting it from both sides. Looks like the middle of the pocket is holding up well, but there's Washington, who gets past the left tackle. And McMahon uncannily senses it, starts to move away, but he has no place to go because big old Harvey Armstrong was right there in his face.
It is 4th down, 1 yard to go for a first down, 8 minutes and 39 seconds left in the game. BYU calls for punt formation. I'm not sure that SMU believes that Brigham Young is going to punt. And maybe Brigham Young is not too sure because a timeout has been called. There's been a change of heart for the BYU coaching staff on 4th and 1. They have elected not to punt the ball away with 8:39 left in the game. They've elected to go for the first down, and they have it on the pass to tight end Clay Brown all the way down to the 42-yard line of SMU.
Ray, if they were serious about winning this game, they had to go for that 4th down. And they make it, and you couldn't see it. We can't see it in the replay, but there's no question in my mind that McMahon audible to this. Clay Brown gets away from the linebacker over there and just outruns him to the sideline, getting himself open.
First down at the 42-yard line of SMU. This is Scott Phillips in motion. Man rolling away from any rush. Ball tipped, but it's caught by Braga. Matt Braga has lived up to everything we were told by the BYU coaches. They said he's like a Biletnikoff.
Exactly. They said he's a small guy without great speed, but he never drops one. And here shows his great concentration. That ball was tipped. He goes high in the air with somebody right on his back. Makes the reception.
And it's close enough to call for a measurement. Might have a first down around the 32-yard line of SMU, and we still have 8 minutes remaining.
There's another view of the same play.
There is young McElhenney. You know, I knew his dad back in days of old when he played with the Packers Grady, Don McElhenney.
Doesn't surprise me.
Rick Castron, please report to security. Gate up on the plot.
At the 32-yard line
Please report to security.
of SMU, the Cougars of Brigham Young have a 1st and 10. Out to the right.
Cougars at the 32.
Wide receivers set out on either side.
Oh, he took a hard rap.
Yes, he did. He did not see Scott Phillips out to the right around the 20-yard line, was wide open, and Richard Neely, the sophomore tackle from Dallas, put a big hit on McMahon.
Let's see if we can, we can't see out in the flat, but here he pulls it down, tries to run, gets caught, and there he gets, well, I guess he didn't get that bad a hit. Byron Hunt hit his own man.
Lost a couple of yards, 2nd and 12. Wide open. Lloyd Jones at the 20-yard line. It's another Brigham Young first down.
This is more the kind of thing that we expected to see from Brigham Young. McMahon is now 21 of 32, probably for 265 yards.
41.
First down, Cougars after the 14-yard gain.
Out to the right is Bill Davis. To the left is Dan Plater. McMahon. Oh, he couldn't get the ball to Bill Davis, who was about as open as any McMahon receiver today.
I don't know. I started to call touchdown before he threw it because Davis was so open at the back of the end zone. And for some reason or another, McMahon just couldn't get enough mustard on that ball.
So 2nd and 10 at the SMU 20. Now the Mustangs have made a couple of defensive changes. I believe they're bringing in a couple of fresh defensive linemen. I can pick up the numbers, I'll tell you about them. But meanwhile, it is 2nd and 10 at the SMU 20. 6:47 left in the game. 38-19. Complete to the 15 to Scott Phillips, who has had a big game. Gain on the play, about 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And in from the sidelines will come the junior from Reno, Nevada, Dan Plater.
I think that McMahon needed a little more than 5 yards out of a 2nd and 10 play.
Clock running with just over 6 minutes left. Oh, what a hit. And did Scott Phillips hold on to that ball?
Yes, he did. You talk about your basic fine reception. This is it.
For a first down at the 11. No, yards short of a first down. 3rd and 1.
You see him coming across the middle here out of the backfield. And he is hit just as the ball gets to him. It's beyond me how he hangs on. Whap.
That big hit was applied by Clarence Bennett, the senior linebacker from Groveton. 4th and 1, 11-yard line of SMU. 5:36 left in the game. And it is not a touchdown to Lloyd Jones, but within a yard at the 1-yard line, the senior from Pomona, California. And McMahon, in this drive, has shown me the sort of passing that I expected from him.
This drive is now 14 plays long. It started at the BYU 10-yard line, and he has thrown 13 times, and the one time he didn't throw is because he was sacked.
1st and goal at the 1. Eric Lane carried but did not get in. Gained only about a foot.
I thought sure he was in there. It looked like he had good body lean, and there was a little bit of a crack. But we've talked about Southern Methodist defense. They're tough at that line of scrimmage. Time is now becoming a very big factor, Ray, with less than 5 minutes to go.
Phillips and Lane, the running backs. And it's Lane carrying again, and I think he's short again. And of course, you can just about count on 30 seconds being run off the clock every running play here that does not get it into the end zone. It can't be any closer than this one. This is a replay of that last run. Somewhere in there was the football. Now we're back live. To the outside, and Phillips gets it in. So Brigham Young narrows the gap. Whether it's too little too late remains to be seen.
90 yards, 17 plays.
Looks like the Mustangs are worried about the dive over the middle. They've got 8 people caught inside. Phillips is able to get outside with ease.
Well, that makes it a 38-25 game. 4 minutes, 7 seconds remaining. Twice Brigham Young has gone for the 2-point conversion, and twice they have failed. Let's see if this time represents any success. Had Braga out there, but was unable to connect. So it's a 13-point lead for SMU. 4 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Cougar power has asserted itself here in the second half. The gap is 13 points. SMU's men are not deep in the truest sense of the word. They're at the 15-yard line. Let's see how expert Lee Johnson is with what almost certainly has to be an attempted onside kick.
Ray, have you ever seen a kicker kick it deep in a situation like that? You get enough people down there and make a play on the ball.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I might expect. Almost missed it. Well, when things don't go right, they really go wrong.
It looked like he hit that ball with the top of his foot. There it is, and then he kicks it again with the bottom of his foot, and it stops it right there. And now they have to go back, and somebody from SMU very alertly covers it, although I think they could have picked it up and run with it.
So first down, SMU at the Brigham Young 42-yard line. 4 minutes, 7 seconds left in this third annual Holiday Bowl. This is Bennett in motion. And here comes Craig James. Oh, look out. This is going to go all the way. Craig James.
You're going to see a great individual effort here for a 42-yard touchdown run by Craig James. The play obviously designed to go out to the right. The quick pitch that they must have run 10 or 12 times already in this game. Here it is.
The Houston, Texas sophomore.
Jammed up, cuts it all the way back. The BYU players are trying to pursue to the sideline to prevent him from getting outside, and it's a cakewalk.
So that just about puts the icing on the cake, as Cephas will hold for Garcia, who has been the kicking star of this game. High and far goes that extra point. SMU has put 45 points on the board. And for Brigham Young, it turns out to be its third fruitless trip to the Holiday Bowl.
Here's one more look at this play. There you see pretty good blocking there, but they've got it jammed up, and then he gets back to the other side, and no opportunity for a tackle.
There he is, Craig James.
That's his second long touchdown run of the game. He had the 42-yarder from punt formation, 45-yarder from punt formation, and now this one.
I think I saw the face there for a moment of our old friend from Japan Bowl days, Cash Birdwell, the SMU trainer.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure that he's very happy, very pleased with the performance of this team.
Scott Pettis, Vi Sikahima have been the deep return men on kickoffs for Brigham Young for the game and are back again. But now less than 4 minutes remain. Garcia, who has had some fine kicks, and then he's had some short kicks, like this one right here. Shopland, outstanding defensive back of I'm sorry, Bruce Hansen carried that one back.
Kickers generally don't get too much action, but right there's one. I think that was an obvious clip, folks.
All right, Brigham Young with the ball here in the closing moments. Jim McMahon trying to add to his passing yardage now. He'll pick up a first down as he runs it out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Brigham Young. Here's Eddie Garcia again.
Can a kicker be clipped? We'll find out shortly. Yes, he can.
That's like the referee telling the boxer, whatever you do, defend yourself at all times.
He's not real pleased about that either.
Well, I'm glad he wasn't hurt. First down, Brigham Young at the Cougar 42. McMahon on a deep drop back. He's going to let it all hang out. He's trying to hit Lloyd Jones, and he leads him at the 5. Let's see, how far did he throw that thing?
He's on his own 35, so it's 15 to the 50 and then
60.
60 yards without a lot of effort.
Wow.
He's not a big kid either. He only weighs 180 pounds, stands 6 feet 1.
We wouldn't have time in the course of an average telecast to tell you of all the records that Jim McMahon set this year. Suffice it to say that he passed for 4,571 yards in the course of a 12-game regular season. Second down 10, Brigham Young at the Cougar 42. Eric Lane behind the line. Tried to set up a screen, picked up a little bit of blocking, but is cut from behind by SMU's. We're getting a chance to see a number of substitutes now. Harvey McAfee, a reserve nose guard who has replaced Michael Carter.
He's not had much opportunity to see Eric Lane today.
Next year, Bizloo Television Network adds another West Coast Bowl, the California Bowl from Fresno, pairing the PCAA champion against the Mid-American Conference winner. The California Bowl Executive Director, Mr. Wink Chase, is in attendance here tonight, and we extend him a hearty welcome. And Grady and Ray, we have to make some decisions pretty soon on who's going to win the Holiday Inn Awards for the most valuable player on offense and the most valuable player on defense. So during our next commercial break, we can get the heads together and find out who wins that hardware from Holiday Inn.
McMahon just passed for a first down at the SMU 40. Time left, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. SMU 45. Brigham Young 25. Slot formation left. Juggled by Scott Phillips and ultimately dropped by the defender Blaine Smith, sophomore safety from Houston.
Yeah. This looks more like a ballet than a football game. The usual sure-handed Scott Phillips unable to control that one with his left hand.
Second and 10, the result. Brigham Young, SMU 40. Wide to the right, Lloyd Jones and Bill Davis. Throwing back to his big tight end. Clay Brown. Although in a losing effort, Clay Brown has put on quite a show tonight.
He is really something special as a tight end. You know, he is so big, you can't tell how fast he's running until somebody tries to catch him. You'll see here when he makes this reception, it looks like he's going real slow until he gets into traffic, and then he just breezes by people. There he goes.
First down, 15-yard line of SMU. Is it a touchdown?
It is.
Oh, what a catch by Matt Braga. The officials were almost incredulous on that one, Brady Alderman.
Yes, they were. The official in the end zone saw the play from behind. He couldn't call it. It was the official way up the sideline that was able to see Braga make this reception. Protection pretty good. His man scrambling around, throws this ball quite low. And look at that catch. His right hand underneath it, flips it up to his chest, and hangs on.
Remarkable catch by Matt Braga.
Let's see it from the other angle. and you'll probably see what the first official who was standing right on the play saw and couldn't call. And he can't see it.
All right, here's a two-point conversion attempt. No. Is that the fourth time today that they have failed on two-point conversions? That's correct. Let's see. If they had 8, let's do a little bit of guessing here with me, Grady. If those two-point conversions had worked, that would be 8 more points, and instead of being 45-31, it would be 45-39. That would have made quite a difference. And that is the trophy that goes to the winner of this 3rd annual Holiday Bowl. You know, I didn't really realize, Grady, until I did a little mental arithmetic after that last touchdown and that last attempted two-point conversion of what a difference it would have made.
They got this one.
Did they get it?
No. No, they overran it.
See what the officials say. There has to be a football there somewhere.
They were in possession. I mean, in position to make this recovery. Now, he does the same thing. He kicks it high and stubs it on the bottom. They've got it surrounded.
Brigham Young has it with 2:31 left to play.
If they had those 8 points, even think if they had the 4 points, then it would be a touchdown and a field goal into a tie.
But 4 cracks at two-point conversions, every one of which failed. As a result, Brigham Young trails by 14 with 2 minutes and 31 seconds left.
And SMU has their starters back in there.
Better believe it. Close to a first down around the 40-yard line.
That's the 40-yard line.
That was Scott Phillips at,
What was
it was number 29. Scott Pettis, I think, caught that pass.
Come on, Stang!
And who says that football is just a seasonal sport? Hey, look at this. The American Football Association television national coverage debuts on MSLU next year. That's right. MSLU will have national coverage of the American Football Association. The Chicago Fire, teams in Texas, Carolina, all over the country. Watch for our telecast in June and July, the spring and summer of 1981.
We're in the midst of a timeout. Charge to Brigham Young. There was a gain of a bit more than 9 yards on that pass from McMahon to Pettis. The ball is just short of the SMU 40-yard line. The clock showing 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Clarence Bennett, the senior linebacker from Groveton, has been talking with head coach Ron Meyer and staff. You were about to say, Grady?
I was going to say, Ray, you'll see the middle of this field will be wide open. SMU will be protecting the sidelines, trying to prevent the BYU receivers from getting out of bounds. They want to keep this clock running with 2:16 left. Unless BYU scores right away, there's very little chance that they can win the game.
Jones to the right, Braga to the left. Now remember, they have a great weapon in tight end Clay Brown, number 85. He's been one of the stars of this game. Ball tip. Tried to hit Braga around the 20-yard line, but one of the defenders got a hand on it, so it's going to be 3rd and about 1 at the 40-yard line of SMU. Boy, what a fine receiver. In fact, what a fine group of receivers BYU has. You have Braga and Davis, Later and Jones and Phillips coming out of the backfield. Clay Brown, of course, the tight end, has been just outstanding. Davis is out to the near side. This is for Davis. Touchdown. No. Out of bounds at about the 1-foot line. Bill Davis.
Ray, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. The last time they had the ball down, with 5 minutes to go, they went from 5 minutes to 4 minutes and 2 seconds running the ball 3 times. The smartest thing they can do is pass the ball here. Now watch this. He scrambles around, and Davis is running free, and he really makes a fine throw.
What concentration.
Davis, great concentration in traffic. This is as fine a catch as you'll see anywhere.
You want to see how close he was to scoring? Oh, my. It is ruled that he was about a foot away from a touchdown. And you know, over 2 minutes remain in this game. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. This is Scott Phillips.
Yep, to get in.
He's in. So don't go away, folks. That makes it 45 to 37.
39. That was, oh, excuse me, 37.
45 to 37.
Excellent blocking on the right side. He has a personal convoy out there with the right guard, Lloyd Eldridge. I was thinking, Ray, that they'd already scored the touchdown. That was the 2-pointer. I'm not excited. It's not much of a game between here.
And again, well, maybe it's not fair to get involved in ifs. Now, the whistle blew as that play developed. I do not know what happened. But to finish that thought, a game of ifs, we can't help but repeat again. Had the 4 two-point conversions been successful, of what a difference in this game. Was too much time taken? Yes, delay of game.
I think
on the 2-point conversion.
I think the smartest thing they could do here is go ahead and kick. Take your 1-pointer. Take the 1-pointer here.
McMahon to Scott Phillips for 2. Now it is 45 to 39 with 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining.
What a game bunch of players from Brigham Young University. They had several opportunities during this game to quit and refused to do so.
Now, do you think they will again attempt a short kick or try a medium kick maybe? Try to get it in the seam? Wait and see how SMU lines up? That could have something to do with it.
Oh, without question. Here he is. He has 8 yards to go. Drops back. Gets good protection. Finds Phillips all alone. You have to believe that SMU blew a coverage.
What does McMahon have in the way of statistics? Do we have anything unofficial on him at all there now?
Let's see, he's thrown the ball 43 times and has completed 30 for 365.
45 to 39. 1 minute and 58 seconds remaining. Timeouts left. Brigham Young, according to the scoreboard, has 1 timeout remaining. SMU has the 2 deep men at the 25-yard line. Now here's a perfect, as I see it, Grady, this is a perfect spot now to kick it deep.
Kick it deep, put your fastest guy on the outside and let him run down and try and cover it in the end zone or at the goal line, wherever he can cover it.
All right, Lee Johnson has the chore here of doing the kicking.
Obviously, SMU doesn't think it's very deep. They have 9 men between the 45 and 50-yard line.
Their 2 deep men are all the way up at the SMU 30. Well, they're going to try the short one. And SMU has it at the 47-yard line. I thought for sure they would kick it deep. I really did.
Number 25,
now we have a player down. We have an SMU player down near midfield.
I will say this about BYU. They have a smart method on these short kicks.
45-39 is the score. SMU is leading. 1 minute 57 left. SMU with a first down at the 47-yard line of Brigham Young as a result of a short kickoff, runs one play for no gain.
This action brought to you by College Action College Classic Stripes, available with your school's colors and emblem from AJD Cap Company, makers of the only caps officially licensed by the NCAA. And we really enjoyed staying at the Holiday Inn Embarcadero restaurant with a great view of the Blue Pacific overlooking the port of San Diego. What a weekend, Ray. What a game.
What a game is right. This is McElhenney on second down, and he's going to gain only about 3 yards. Now, the clock is running with 1:09 left. The scoreboard says that Brigham Young has 1 timeout remaining, and if that is the case, they have just now taken that final timeout. SMU will have a third down and about 8 at the 46-yard line of Brigham Young. 1:06 showing on the clock.
I'm not sure I believe this, Ray, but that last play looked very suspiciously like a pass. I think McElhaney was looking downfield as though to pass.
Lavelle Edwards, listening as a member of his staff, tells middle linebacker Kyle Whittingham. That's a pretty good bit of philosophy, right?
And you heard it. Go like Hades and knock that ball loose.
All right. Third down, 8. SMU. Brigham Young 45.5-yard line. 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in a highly improbable game that saw SMU lead by a big margin. But now SMU leads by only 6, 45-39. The one wide receiver is Mitchell Bennett. Would SMU dare to put the ball in the air on 3rd and 8? Mitchell Bennett goes in motion. This is Eric Dickerson to the outside. And he does not get anything more than a yard or so, thanks to a great play by cornerback Bill Shefflin.
But they are rolling the clock.
Yep, 50 seconds now left. 45.
Ray, what do you do here?
If you're SMU, I would be very, very tempted not to punt the football.
Well, what I would do is run the clock down to 1 second, take timeout, and then when you came back, run a play.
29 seconds. 6 seconds left on that 25-second clock. Maybe they'll take a penalty. 3 seconds. 1. Well, they're going to take a penalty with 18 seconds left. Or did they get a timeout in? I do not know. I did not see a flag.
There's the flag.
Now the flag. All right. There's the 5-yard penalty. Now remember, if they punt the ball by Sikahema, who has run back a punt for a touchdown, is back for Brigham Young. But remember, too, that the Cougars have 10 men up on the line. They might try to block this punt. And there is Vi Sikahema, the freshman from Mesa, Arizona. Big rush. Got it. They blocked it. The ball is at the 41-yard line of SMU. 13 seconds left. Brigham Young has a chance. There is the punter, Eric Pipus.
It comes from the left side. The left end, he was never blocked.
That was Bill Shefflin. Bill Shefflin blocked it. 13 seconds left. The Cougars have a chance. They have McMahon, who broke all those NC2A passing records. SMU is still making some defensive changes. They just got their 11th man onto the field. All right, McMahon all the way back. He throws it incomplete at the 25-yard line of SMU with 9 seconds left in the game.
He had Clay Brown down at about the 25-yard depth. And with his running ability, if he'd gotten him the ball, there's an opportunity to take it all the way.
The incomplete pass stops the clock with 9 seconds remaining. Now let's see what SMU does. They have 3 men up front.
The pressure is all on the defense at this point. Having lost as big a lead as they have, I'm sure that they're starting to feel it.
Second down at the SMU 41, 9 seconds left. The clock started with the snap. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. He's going for the end zone. He has a man down there, but it's out of bounds. Number 87, Lloyd Jones, was down there with 3 seconds left. The clock is stopped. One more chance, perhaps, barring a penalty. One more chance, perhaps, for the Cougars. Depending on the play was number 25, Dick Blaylock. Remember now, SMU has been playing without John Simmons, their great cornerback, since much earlier in the game. That tells us how much time remains here at the 3rd annual Holiday Bowl. Brigham Young has been here now for every one of these bowls. Lost to Navy the first one. Lost by 1 point to Indiana last year. Down by 6 now. 3 seconds left. 3rd and 10 at the SMU 41-yard line. McMahon all the way back at his own 46. Throwing for the end zone. Receivers are there. Defenders are there. It is in the end zone. Who has the ball?
Intentionally back in the end zone. SMU players are frozen on the sideline.
Now, the score is tied at 45. Now look at it again.
They've got a 3-man rush. McMahon gets excellent protection, and he throws it from his own 45-yard line. This ball will end up about 5 yards deep in the end zone. There's Brown going up with the 2 defenders, and he outscraps them for
it. It is Clay Brown who caught it. Now all the pressure goes on this special team. We're going to watch the touchdown again. We have not yet reached the extra point. It was Clay Brown who caught it. Now Kurt Gunther will try to win it for Brigham Young. The kick is up. Good! Brigham Young, in an absolutely unpredictable, wild finish, has defeated SMU in one of the most spectacular college football endings I have ever seen.
Ray, the only thing I've got to say, we've done it again, buddy.
We'll explain that remark in a moment. Final score.
All right, there they are.
They're the MVPs.
The Holiday End Most Valuable Player has to be Jim McMahon on offense for Brigham Young. A spectacular performance at quarterback. The Holiday End Most Valuable Player on defense is Glenn Titans, the defensive end for Brigham Young. You said it, Ray. One of the most spectacular comebacks in the history of college football.
And the reason that Grady said what he did, I think we're going to watch it one more time. This is the touchdown that tied the game. This is Jim McMahon, the NC2A spectacular passing leader of the season, firing that ball almost 60 yards in the air. Number 85, Clay Brown, in that mass of players, came up with the football because he just seemed to want it. Here is the point that won the game by Kurt Gunther out of a hold by Bill Shefflin. And where 2-point conversions had been unsuccessful, the single-point conversion is successful. And Grady, I think we would be permitted this personal note. Last Sunday, Grady and I were the broadcasters when the Vikings clutched defeat away and turned it into a victory in their magnificent win over the Browns. And to think, Grady, we, along with Dwayne Dow, would be privileged to be here and see one of the most improbable, fantastic finishes we've ever seen. For Dwayne Dow, Grady Alder, this is Ray Scott saying, join us for the Tangerine Bowl tomorrow night. I don't know how you can ever top this one. Happy holidays from the Holiday Bowl.